This conference will now be recorded.
To the agenda, we'll start with you, Rudy.
Good morning, Council. Several additions to the agenda this morning, this being the first regular meeting of our newly elected council. First of all, just a correction on the minutes that we'll deal with on item 2A. On motion 539 2510-07, please note that the Reeve voted opposed on that motion. That was just a change in the motion before we approve them. Item number 5, I think Ms. Frederickson's already handed out the Brazeau and Beyond handout, so we won't need to deal with that. Under General Matters 12A, Councillor Boloski is seeking support from Brazeau County Council to seek the nomination for first vice for RMA Division 3, so that'll be a council conversation. And several meeting additions for council to deal with today. Under 15C, there's a request to attend Evergreen School Remembrance Day ceremony. 15D, a request for Holy Trinity's Remembrance Day ceremony. 15E would be Holy Trinity Student Achievement Awards ceremony. 15F, request to attend the Frank Maddock High School Remembrance Day ceremony. And item G, ratification of Councillor Boloski's attendance yesterday at the Mayor's Task Force meeting. That's all administration has, Reeve.
I've just got one called Personnel, ATIA number 20. We'll put that later on in the agenda.
For closed, that would be for closed, Reeve?
Yes, for closed,
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll put that back down in the agenda ways. General matter reports, number 12. Sorry, I can't hear you, Kara.
16C.
16C? Everybody would be cranky by then. All right, we'll put it there.
Unless it's urgent, then we should deal with it first.
Anybody else have any additions? Then a motion to approve the agenda with the amendments. Kara?
I move the agenda as amended.
Discussion, all those in favor? Carried unanimous. We got the minutes. October 7th, pages 11 to 17. Is there any errors or omissions or corrections or comments? Trying to cover it all in one breath. Kara?
I move the minutes for information.
Discussion, all those in favor? Carried unanimous. Follow-up action list, Rudy? Looks pretty small there. What's going on?
Thank you, Reva. We're getting things off there, so it's nice to see it small, but I'm sure as we get into regular council activities, it will grow again. Unfortunately, no updates on the follow-up action list. We were hoping to have something from the province with respect to Moose Hill Community Hall. Still nothing from the province.
Well, they're good at that. Any comments, folks? Dallas?
No comments. Move to receive the follow-up action list as presented.
Discussion, all those in favor? Carried unanimous. Delegations, we're still a little early. Randy, you ready? Whenever you're ready, Randy.
Okay. Good morning, new council, and congratulations on all your winnings. However, anyways, my name is Brandy Fredrickson. I'm with the Drayton Valley District Free Press newspaper, and for the last 4 years, we've been producing the Brazeau and Beyond travel guide. This travel guide was initially started as a brainchild from a blog that I had started, or a column I had started called the Backyard Bucket List, that basically was just kind of chronicling some of the stuff that I was doing with my own family, and trying to get individuals in the community to see that there's a lot to be done in the community, and not just to know of the places, but also to give them ideas of how they can interact with the places as well, whether they're seniors or have families or individuals. So I'm going to start off first about why I'm here, and then I'll just circle back quickly and just walk you through the pieces of paper that are in front of you. So on 5.0, future funding requests. So just to start off, this is what I'm asking. So I'm requesting an amount of $8,400 to support the 2026 summer and winter Brazeau and Beyond travel guide. We're currently in production with the 2025-26 winter guide. Drayton Valley Hospitality and Tourism has continued their $25,000 over 3-year pledge. I'm here in front of you because we have, over the last 2 years, done a series of motions that the initial ask was $25,000 over 3 years, but it was contingent on the town, which then brought me back to see your guys' fine faces on the previous council twice. The last motion that was made superseded that $25,000 request, so I'm here just to ask for the 2026 $8,400 request. So that's what I'm asking. Going back to the first page, I won't take too long on this. We do have some new faces. So essentially just outlining the purpose. So to summarize on 1.1, to make locals aware of facilities and activities, events that are in the region and give them different ideas of how to approach those things. What we found is there's lack of information about not only where you can locate stuff, but also, what should you bring? Do you need a 4x4? Do is the quad trail suited for dirt bike trails? Even things like the Brazeau bow benders, they have their 3D archery range, but they take down the 3D targets at September long. So just things like that, helping people understand how they can utilize the stuff that we have. And then point 2 is to provide a broader province and specific location perspective to get to know our region and explore its assets. Specifically to what we try to push within the guide and any sort of writings that we have about the things that we have in this community is to purchase a membership or give a donation to the clubs, because it's not only that we have these beautiful facilities, we also have, they're run by clubs that are basically running on coffee and steam and a little bit of goodwill. So we really do try to push the buy a membership, become a member, contact so-and-so, those kind of things, so that people know that these are not just here. They're here on the sweat and backs of people that are helping create these things. So going down to duration and scope. So currently we've published 4 issues. So this is the 24-25. These are the 4 issues that you guys had a hand in funding. There were previous issues prior to that were done either just by myself or that were supported just by hospitality and tourism. These are the 4 issues that you had a hand in assisting with, and we're currently on the 25-26 winter guide, which this is the front page. We're going to print on this one on Thursday, so this afternoon I'm going to be doing layout on this. But this is the front page for this year's winter guide. And so when we talk about communities served, we put out the print guides in our usual locations that we do the newspaper. So it would be Drayton Valley, Brazeau County, as well as Evansburg, Entwistle, Seba Beach, Highway 13 corridor. And then we also, with the summer guide, because the travel centers are open, we put stuff out to Stettler, Edson, Hinton, Grand Cache, basically West Central Alberta right across. West Central, sorry, and then across Central Alberta, and then, north and south, basically to Sundre, up to, we had sent stuff up to Grand Prairie this year as well. So we're kind of there, we have travel centers that are asking us now for the guides, so we are sending stuff their way when they have requested it. So that's some of the communities that are served. And then the broader areas in our Facebook market, our Facebook advertising, which I am going to be looking at Google search ads a bit more this year as well. We focus specifically more so on Alberta, Saskatchewan, BC. Sending it over to Ontario made sense when there was also other ads from other organizations in Drayton doing stuff over to Ontario and people were moving here. But Travel Alberta talks about how a lot of our tourism in Alberta is Albertans doing tourism in Alberta. So it's basically trying to get people, what we're seeing a lot of is people from Stony Plain, Spruce Grove coming out to the ATV trails. I've come across people from Whitecourt, Edson, the Nordic trails. We're getting a lot of people out of Edmonton. So we're kind of going along where we're targeting areas down your heavy haul corridor, which is the Grand Prairie down to Calgary area, but then going out east a bit, so to Edmonton, Stony Plains, but within the hour, right? And then there's obviously a broader marketing just for Saskatchewan and things like that as well. Point two, so past 3 years of funding. So this is just a summary of the chart, basically, where we have contributions from Brazeau County, contributions from hospitality and tourism. And then, as you'll know, in 2026, or for the 2026 year, so that would be the winter guide and the summer guide for 26, there's an additional $5,000. So I had applied to the Alberta government, or I'm not sure the fund that it's run through, but it's the Alberta Magazine Publishers Grant, and so we were granted $5,000 towards the Brazeau and Beyond magazines as well. So that will be used in this year. Basically what we'll be doing is we're ramping out some of the print. We're increasing some of the print. We'll be increasing some of our digital advertising as well as our billboard marketing and a few other things. We're also looking at doing some mail drop postcards through, like, utilizing Inkpot so that it's going to all the residents where they can then do the QR code or whatever and get the guide. So the outcomes, return on investment, so you guys can read through some of this stuff, but basically this is just going through these 4 guides. We've had, you know, I put 12 plus, but I kind of quit counting is really what happened, but we have a lot of local contributors that contribute to the guide, either through photos, interviews, them submitting articles and stuff as well. So we have very good partnerships with people in the community. Including, just to name a few, the ATV Club, the Nordic Club, the Brett Museum, Carmen Ray Photography, and a bunch of individual local submissions as well. Businesses and nonprofits featured. So these are things that have been featured that are not paid advertisements. So just within the last 4 guides, it's the campgrounds, it's some of, you know, the new things like our breweries, our historic hotels and their lounges as well as like the Brazeau Snow Club was in there before closure, right? The Mac Center, I put Ma in there, but it's the Mac Center, outdoor rinks, basically things that are, we're looking at things that we can encourage people to go that kind of cover all income levels. So we're going from free to, you know, pay to have a good time kind of thing. So feedback and testimonials, basically the best feedback that we've got is that people who have lived here for a number of years not aware of what our community has and now has been aware, so that's wonderful. And then we are getting people from out of town, which is great, but it does put more pressure on the trails, and so it's really important for those people to understand that, you know what, we also need donations or memberships as well to use the facilities. So economic impact, so advertising revenue, and this is predominantly more in the summer guide. The summer guide is much more popular advertising-wise than the winter guide. We average around 5,000 or so a year for advertisements purchased within our guide. Local, so when we're looking at local stuff, obviously the design and stuff is all done in-house, the writing, so that's all local. So that's not included on here because I thought it was a given. But we also then put our stuff on the Team Auctions billboard, as well as I was just discussing with Inkpot about their the postcards, to which $3,600 I've just been quoted at being about $370 to print, then send through Canada Post. If we're looking at tourism exposure based on our website, so these are the top things that are viewed at our website. So people are looking for fishing spots in the area. They're always looking, and this has been the thing since we started putting tourism on our website in 2021. The Blue Rapids Rec area, the OHV trails, people are very interested in driving the Sunchild Road, which it's a beautiful drive. It was hard to find spots of, where to stop. Obviously, there's the Nordegg River and whatever else, but nothing's really developed there. And then basically rolling down there to financial overview in 3-year summary. So this is the budget that we're looking at for 2026, sorry. So you can look at just the printing and the distribution, the marketing and the outreach. These dollar figures, if you add this up with, if council agrees to an $8,400 ask, they would add up to around that $21,000 range, including that $5,000 grant from Alberta and the grant from DVHTA. And so this is kind of how we're divvying that up. And then I already went in point 5 with the future funding request. Planned enhancements. So this is something that we're always trying to work on when we're writing the guide, is how can we get a new perspective on the same facilities. So we've done articles where, like with the, say, I'm going to just take the Nordic trails. We've talked about taking your kids Nordic skiing, what are the beginner, intermediate, whatever trails that we have. This year we're talking about how to prepare for the Pembina Eagle Point Loppet. Getting that, snowshoeing the trails. If you're a senior, these are the trails that don't require a lot of hills, that are easier on your knees, So basically, that's something that we're constantly trying to do. And we're also trying to keep on top of facilities that open and close. So it's businesses that are open and closed, facilities that have been closed. Also, the contact information for facilities change regularly depending on who's the president or who's the communications. The Facebook contacts change, et cetera. So those are things that we are always on top of. And then we're also always trying to find just different interesting nuggets in our community, honestly, and I didn't get there last year, but somebody sold me on going to bingo at the Legion. I want to try it out. I've heard it's actually really good. So just things like that I didn't know exist, that, they could be fun. So then on the digital expansion, we're continually adding stories to the Backyard Bucket List blog on the Free Press website, but then obviously there's more money going to be going to some of the digital marketing with this for the 2026 year. And then I already talked about the niche markets. And then, so this would be something that we could look at or explore down the road, would be community partnerships or events. This is just something I threw out, but it's maybe a local tourism symposium where community groups can showcase their facilities. Right now, I've been working with DVHTA doing community networking events, typically one in the spring and one in the fall, where it's just getting community group people to know each other, but it wasn't necessarily, we're at Oil Country Tap House, we're just chatting. It's not necessarily a formalized thing where people can actually come, maybe buy their membership in the fall, similar to what is currently being done with our sports registration, but where you can maybe buy your membership. We can talk a little bit about how to upgrade your websites, how to promote your stuff, etc. Anyway, so that's an idea. That would be something that I could talk to maybe with Eagle Point Blue Rapids. And then essentially the other one looking at too would be revenue diversification. Town of Drayton Valley, I'm going to go talk to them again since they do also have a new council. The Alberta Magazine Publishers Grant was a new a new grant for us. Advertisement sales obviously is a piece of that, but then also one of the other grant partnerships that I was looking at and may be able to explore down the road again would be with organizations that are maybe underrepresented. The Brett Museum is one that comes to mind. It's very unique in what they offer in terms of a rural museum, but they are out there that a lot of people who know them are usually descendants or families of people that have lived in the area versus the broader population. So that's something I have talked to Alan about before, but we haven't really explored it in any great extent. And so then essentially the sustained increase of return on investment, obviously it's hard to, other than showing you the metrics in terms of distribution, how many people have read the magazine, how many people have downloaded the magazine, unless I'm interviewing all those people, asking them if they've stayed at a hotel or ate at a restaurant in Drayton Valley, it's hard for me to give you those metrics. The one thing that I think is valuable to the county is the ability to showcase the quality of life that potential rural residents want and seek. When we're writing these magazines, we're really trying to focus on that it's rural. This is rural living. You are not like... even getting to the trailhead is an adventure sometimes. Sometimes there's a lot of snow, sometimes there's a lot of, so we're very clear, we're not overselling the region. We're very clear to people that, this is actually a really great rugged piece of country that is it's still about an hour away from Edmonton. And I think there's some people that like that polished, and when you want polished, you go to Jasper, you go to Banff. But when you want something a little rugged, you come here. And that's really what we've tried to keep as the voice of the magazine here. And so in conclusion, I'm requesting for this council to consider granting $8,400 towards the 2026 Brazeau and Beyond Travel Guide. Thank you. To either be discussed now or discussed during budget deliberations.
You've
Thank
done
you.
a great job, Brandy. I'm always impressed with what you've achieved in your marketing, your helping out Brazeau County for $8,400. I see that as a bit of a bargain for what you put out there for us. So appreciate all that you've done. You've done a remarkable job, Brandy. Any other comments, Glenn?
Not a comment. I'm ready to make a motion on this then.
Any other comments before we get a motion? Okay, carry on.
I move to add the Brazeau and Beyond Summer and Winter Travel Guide publication request for funding to the 2026 interim budget discussion.
Okay, so there'll be further discussion then, Brandy, just so you know how it works.
Yep.
We put things on the agenda, then we discuss whether we fund them or not later on.
That's right. I'll be praying all the way to December. Thank you very much, Council.
Thanks, good presentation, thank you. All right. Oh, yeah, you guys are politicians, I forgot. All those in favor? Carrie, you voted too? Oh, okay, you must have been quick on the draw there. So that's carried unanimous. Watching my time. CIO reports, anything further?
Further, Reeve, thank you.
Okay. And we have a public hearing, but that'll be 10 o'clock. And then we'll just be rotating. So public hearing, 10 a.m. We can't do that one just yet. Land use bylaw amendment. Can we do that one right now, Chandra?
Good morning, Raymond Council. Rezoning application 25A-007, which is located on pages 33 through 48 of the agenda package, has been submitted to rezone the 7.61 acre Lot 1, Plan 9623295, within Northeast 1049-9 west of the 5th Meridian, from direct control to agricultural holdings. Today, this bylaw is being presented for first reading, with the public hearing for this bylaw planned for December 2nd.
This is one of those gray areas. I may have a
Okay.
pecuniary interest. I own land to the north and I own land kitty corner. So I'm going to have our vice chair take it there, Kara. So I think I'm declaring it properly pecuniary interest, or is it? Okay. Oh,
So the subject lands are located immediately west of Range Road 92, from which the parcel has access as shown on the land location map on page 35. Just for some history, this lot was originally zoned to direct control in September of 2005, and that was to allow the use of the structures for an oil field office operation. The landowners are now in the process of selling the property, and it's more suitable as a residential use. So this does require rezoning so that the parcel can be used for that residential purpose. The proposed rezoning is consistent with the surrounding land uses, having primarily agricultural around, and it complies with the county's municipal development plan. Additionally, the lands do not fall within any intermunicipal development plan or area structure plan area, and that's all reflected in appendices E and F on pages 41 through 45. So bylaw 1218-25 for the rezoning of approximately 7.61 acres under lot 1, plan 962-3295 within northeast 1049-9 west of the 5th meridian from direct control to agricultural holdings is presented today for first reading. And if there's any questions about the process, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Excellent. That's actually what I was going to ask first. Can you just talk with the new council and a refresher for those of us returning? What is the process for rezoning? So today it's here for first reading. Explain why, kind of walk us through why we're doing it this way.
Absolutely.
And then also you're going to have to explain that sometimes we will do all 3 readings at once and how we do that.
Okay. So because the zoning is established under the land use bylaw, which is a bylaw adopted by council, any amendments to the zoning require an amending bylaw. So that's what a rezoning bylaw is considered, as an amending bylaw. Under the Municipal Government Act, rezoning bylaws require 3 readings, including a public hearing. Not all bylaws require that. This is something fairly unique to these types of bylaws. So the process that we follow is that we bring forward a bylaw for first reading. If council determines that it's an appropriate bylaw to go forward, we get first reading from council. We advertise for a public hearing. Under the Municipal Government Act, we're required to advertise for 2 consecutive weeks in a local publication and have 5 clear days prior to the public hearing taking place. We also circulate to adjacent landowners, internal departments, and external agencies, anyone having an interest on the title, any provincial entities required based on proximities to highways, water bodies, that type of thing. We compile all that information in a report that we bring back. You'll see I have one later today. We compile all that for council's consideration. We go into a public hearing to allow anyone who wishes to speak to bring their concerns forward to council. And then council can choose whether or not to proceed with 2nd and 3rd readings to the bylaws. If 3rd reading is given, then the rezoning is passed and the land use has changed. And quite often we see rezonings coming hand in hand with a subdivision. So in order to get some properties subdivided, smaller lots, they are required to be rezoned. So that's the first step in having those subdivisions completed.
A lot of information to take in. So don't be afraid to ask any questions, even if we have to repeat over the next couple months. We understand it's the fire hose effect. It's like opening the nozzle on a fire hose right now for information. The one question I have, just building on it, where do we publicly advertise? So I know part of our requirements through the MGA is that we have to publicly advertise. Where, just so that we're clear to council, if they get questioned, where do we generally post or advertise these type of things?
These are advertised on the county's page within the Drayton Valley Free Press. So that's where it's found.
Perfect. Do we do the Breton Booster too as well?
No, not typically.
Okay. And what about our website? Will it be on there too as well?
The public hearing, I believe, is published on our website as well. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. I've asked a lot of questions. Does anybody have any questions? Shane?
Is there a reason we don't go to the Breton Booster or that Highway 39 publication. I'm just wondering, because a lot of people do follow that in my area. This one's not on our side of the river, but if it is on the other side, does it go to closer?
Typically, no.
No? Okay.
Just as a consistency practice, we do stick with the one publication, but that would, something we can consider if council wishes.
Excellent. Are there any other questions? If not, I am going to ask for a motion to approve first reading. Carol.
I move to give first reading to bylaw 1218-25, proposing Lot 1, Plan 9623295 within the Northeast 1049-9 west of the 5th Meridian, plus or minus 3.08 hectares to be rezoned from direct control to agricultural holdings as shown on the attached Schedule A.
Thank you, Carol. Are there any further questions or comments? All those in favor? Carried unanimous. Thank you. If someone on that side could go get Bart. Excellent. As Bart's coming back in, we are on item 10A, which is page 68.
Hey, Lee, take it away.
Morning, Reeve and Council. Page 68 of your agenda. We have the Buck Creek Community Association has submitted a grant application. There's attachment 1 on the following pages. They're requesting $1,000 for their fall dinner. This is being hosted on October 25th, 2025, so it was last week. They did submit this last month, but the way the council's dates fell, and we did have needed some clarification on some of their financials. So anyway, the association plans on utilizing this event to address a decline in events and attendance at their local gatherings. And the community organization funding policy FIN 7 allows for administration to approve requests to a maximum of $1,000. This application is the first made by the association in 2025. However, it does project a profit and does trigger the 30% ineligibility clause for this policy. Therefore, this application falls outside the administration's approval scope. Should council support this event, FIN 7, at its discretion, Brazeau County retains the right to refuse any request or make exception should the request not meet all the policy criteria but still deemed worthy of review. Administration has discussed the reserve funds with the association, as with the applicant. The association explained that the event is also a fundraising event to continue renovations of their floor, and their reserve funds are earmarked for this same project. Previously, the association had presented funding requests for part of the floor, which they had safety concerns, and they were successful in receiving a CFEP grant, which is a Community Facility Enhancement Fund grant. You'll hear this one quite a few times. Brazeau County isn't eligible for CFEP grants, but nonprofit societies are. It's a 50-50 matching grant up to $125,000. We encourage all nonprofits to apply for this, and I can confidently say they have a pretty high success rate to receiving that grant. I would say as high as 99%. The part of the floor has been completed with the grant, but they still want to, there's still part of the floor, they want to improve this, so the goal is to finish it. So part of this event is to fundraise for that. So administration is recommending approval of the grant as it supports improvements to the facility as well as building connections within the area to ensure longevity of the association. The FIN 7 event grant, we have budgeted $20,000, and there's still $5,850 remaining in 2025. So.
Okay, thanks, Lee.
Sorry? I missed that, sorry.
Sorry, through the chair to administration, can you explain what CFEP is? You've mentioned that, I'm not sure if they're aware of the acronym.
Yeah, well, it's Community Facility Enhancement Grant from the provincial government, and it's, that money is from lottery money, and it's just eligible for non-profit groups.
Go ahead, Dallas.
All right, so thanks for the explanation, Lee. Yeah, I think that it does enhance their facility and it would help them to complete that renovation, which they've been working on diligently. So I'd move that Brazeau County Council approve an event grant for $1,000 to the Buck Creek Community Association for the fall dinner on October 25th, 2025, from 0274000771.
Discussion? All those in favor? Carried unanimous? Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Lee. Okay. Did you do the Landrose rezoning? Yeah. Oh, you did, okay. Colin?
Good morning, Council. On page 80 of your agenda, you'll find a request for council decision in regards to setting the date for the 2026 tax recovery auction. The recommended action is that council approve the date of February 11th, 2026 for the tax recovery auction for the properties currently listed on the bottom of page 80 and the top of page 81. So again, just a little background information for council, both old and new. As per the MGA, we are required to set a yearly tax recovery auction in the event that properties are approaching that third year in arrears. The process, we have them assessed using our external assessor, and then much like the planning department, we do have advertisement requirements that we must put it out there for some consecutive weeks and let the landowners know through their title notification. We also do try to avoid it going to tax recovery auction by entering into legal repayment plans. So just a bit of information, you are able to take your amount in arrears and stretch it up to a maximum of 3 years while keeping your current amount current there. So if we do have the landowner come in, sign that agreement and have regular payments made, then we can remove them from the proceedings. And as mentioned previously there, in the 10 years I've been around, we haven't had one actually go through. So we usually have a high rate of coming to some sort of agreement and getting them along their way. But as mentioned, the recommended action is that council approve the date of February 11th, 2026 for the tax recovery auction.
What kind of percentage is this in tax collection from the roughly 19 million we collect in taxes?
So we actually collect this year, not including the school tax, was about $30 million. And so right now we're looking at $12,000, so a very immaterial amount there.
So the 30,000, that includes the tax, the education portion as well?
So it does, yes. So the amounts listed on the bottom of page 80, top of 81 are include the school requisition and the seniors foundation requisition, as well as the municipal tax levy as well. So it's all three components.
Everybody understand? Okay. Kara?
I was prepared to make a motion.
Okay, if there's no other questions, go ahead.
I move that council approves the date of February 11th, 2026 for the tax recovery auction for the listed properties.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor? Carried unanimous. Thanks, Colin.
Just one follow-up
Yeah.
one. And so on page 82 of your agenda, with that first motion being passed, we look to have council approve the proposed terms and conditions for the 2026 tax recovery auction, and these terms and conditions can be found on page 84 of your agenda. So kind of the main component of it is that the land being offered for sale would be sold on an as-is, where-is basis with Brazeau County, making no representations or no warranty whatsoever to the adequacy, service, soil conditions, land use, distracting, building, and development conditions. In terms we have is set as cash, certified check, and once again, the parcel will be sold as is.
So you don't require anything?
No. Just the certified check, yeah. So we just need, council approve the terms and conditions, and then these will be advertised out with the properties in question at the given time.
Okay, you see the recommendation in front of you? Glenn?
Just a motion. I move that council approve the proposed terms and conditions for the 2026 tax recovery auction.
Discussion, all those in favor? Carried unanimous. Okay. I guess we're down to council reports.
Reeve, if I may, we have the one addition under 12A General Matters regarding Councillor Blosky's request.
Oh, okay, we can do that one first. So technically the term, I don't think it's first vice president, I think it's zone director. Vice chair, zone director. That's the proper name. Zone. What do
Just
you
for
call it?
clarification, it's just vice chair for District 3.
Okay,
It's got nothing to do with the director. Director is RMA. You have to, so just background, the districts are completely separate from RMA.
yes,
So what I think Councillor Blosky is asking for is support to be vice chair for the district.
yes. All right, anybody want to make a motion to support him to run? It's not a paid position, it's just something that you get a little bit of experience. Kara?
Just providing a little bit of background. Brazeau County falls in District 3, which is the 13 municipalities kind of in the Edmonton region, so gives you lay of the land. Leduc County, I think, is our farthest east, and farthest west would be Yellowhead. Farthest north is Lesser Slave River. South would be Wetaskiwin County, so it's all those kind of municipalities in there. You are not paid for the position, however, there may be time to time use of staff. So by endorsing Councillor Blosky, just be aware that our staff could be doing a little bit of extra work. The chair position, generally that municipality does the majority, but, and even if the chair can't make it, usually the host municipality still, staff is still preparing, so it's minimal. I've done it in the past. It's not a whole lot at vice chair level, so that's a great way to step your toes into it. Even though it's not connected to RMA, there is committee work that we pull from the chair and the vice chair from the districts and the province to do work for RMA, so just be aware of that.
A lot of the work that goes through the district ends up at the RMA anyway, like resolutions and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
All right, so, did you make a motion, Kara?
No, I think Shane wants to talk, but then I can make a
Okay,
motion.
go ahead, Shane.
I just wanted to ask council to support me on this. When I ran, it was to work not only with our community, but the surrounding communities, and this is a great way to get that out there and get more experience in those things. So I would appreciate your support.
Okay. Kara, Dallas,
Just ready to do that?
Dallas, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you'd be a great representative of Brazeau County, so I'm happy to do that. So I'll move that Brazeau County Council affirm support for Councillor Shane Blosky to seek the nomination for first vice RMA Division 3.
Discussion, all those in favor? No, you have to vote, yeah, you have to. Either that or you get fired before you have your first job. Okay, that's carried unanimous. Yeah, it seems strange voting for yourself, but it's, councillor reports, they're all laid out there in front of you. We need a motion to approve the councillor reports as presented. Kara,
I move to receive council reports for information.
discussion, all those in favor? Carried unanimous. Meeting dates. You guys are going to be the most efficient council we've ever had. Okay, so meeting dates. There's a whack of them that have been added on to. I can't attend them all, that's for sure. I can do the Remembrance Day at the Royal Canadian Legion. I can do some of the others, but I'm just wondering if any of you guys would, okay, which one would you do, Kara?
We'll start at the top, but I can definitely help out. So I move to authorize the Reeve and/or designate to speak on behalf of council at the November 11th Royal Canadian Legion Remembrance Day service.
Discussion, all those in favor? It's carried unanimous. Now, Evergreen School. Huh? B, where's B? Oh, it's on the other page. Ratification of attendance in the MLA Invest Alberta events, October 31st. That was you, Glenn?
I added it, but it's here and I did attend, so I move
Okay.
to ratify the attendance of council at the MLA Invest Alberta event, October 31st, 2025.
That was a good event. I liked it too. Who was all there at that? Glenn was? I was? Oh, everybody was there? Okay, well, he would have liked that, I guess. All right, so did we vote on this now? All those in favor? Carried unanimous. Request for council representation to attend Evergreen. Who can do that one?
What can you not do on the next 4 items? Because I can do them all. I'm available.
Well, that's on the 7th, so I can do the Evergreen one.
At 11 a.m.?
I guess so, because it's the 7th, not the 11th, right?
Yep, it's Friday
Yeah.
morning? Okay. I move to designate the Reeve and/or designate to speak at the Evergreen School Remembrance Day ceremony, November 7th at 11 a.m.
Discussion, all those in favor? Now, do you guys want to wade in and do one of these too, like the new counselors? Like you can have our Ken draft up some notes too, and you could take it on behalf. It's just a way to get some exposure. It's nothing serious. It's a serious event, but it's a good way to get your feet wet. Oh, okay. So a valid excuse, we've got one there. Glenn, what are you doing?
I have some family issues coming up here right away, I expect, so I won't be able to do
Okay.
anything.
Carol? Got to get your feet wet sometime.
Do you want to see my calendar?
If they're busy, I'm actually, to be honest with you, it's 2 days I had off, so I'm around, which is very rare.
Okay. Dallas, you doing anything in Breton this year or not?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I could probably do Frank Medic High School, but I think what we could do is just make the motion for Reeve and/or designate, and then we can just make that decision as we get closer to those dates.
Sure.
It's this week, and
Yeah.
Tina just gave me a look. She needs to know today.
Needs to know right now. It's only the 4th.
It was a look.
Yeah, I'm happy to do Frank Medic High School for sure.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
when we
great.
get there, we'll make that motion. We're not there now. Who's doing Holy Trinity on November 6th at 10 a.m.? Or 10:45? I can do that one if you guys want.
Okay, you can do that one, Kara. Dallas is doing Frank Maddock.
Did you want to do the evening on the 6th? You'll be, oh, that's awards too, so you will be speaking then. You could- yeah.
So I'll be doing C or B. Oh, is that C? So we've got them all covered then?
Just hang on. We still need E, and that one is you will be addressing the students, plus it's their award ceremony. Or that is their award ceremony that day.
Which one is that?
15E.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that one. You said you're doing that one?
I said I'd do D.
D.
I can do E as well. I've done it in the past.
Okay, we'll let you do those two.
Okay. So someone needs to make a motion for D, E, and F. I'll help you through, turn your light
approve.
Yeah, into your microphone a little more there, thank you.
Sorry. I move to approve request for council representation to attend Holy Trinity Remembrance Day ceremony November 6, 2025 at 10:45 a.m., as well as request for council representative to attend and address the Students of Holy Trinity Student Achievement Awards ceremony November 6, 2025, 7 p.m. And finally, request for council representative to attend Frank Maddock High School Remembrance Day ceremony November 7th, 2025, 10:30 a.m.
Discussion. You got the hang of it. All those in favor? All right, ratification of Councillor Pulaski's attendance at the Mayor's Task Force. In specific? Are you guys here for anything specific or just? Sorry, I can't hear you. Okay, all right. And you, sir? Okay, at 11 o'clock. All right. So we got everybody there? All right, it's 10 o'clock. We can go into the public hearing. Somebody want to make a motion to go into public hearing? Kara?
I move to go into public hearing for bylaw 1217-25.
Discussion? All those in favor? Carried unanimous. Kate, take it away.
Thank you. Rezoning application 25A-006, located on pages 18 through 32 of the agenda package, has been submitted to rezone approximately 4 acres from agricultural to agricultural holdings within a portion of Southeast 455 west of the 5th Meridian, and this would allow for the subdivision of an equally sized parcel. The subject lands are located immediately north of Township Road 500 and west of Range Road 53, and you can see that on the land location map on page 20. After receiving first reading of the rezoning bylaw 1218-25 on October 7th, the rezoning application was circulated for review and comments to external agencies, internal departments, and adjacent landowners. Those parties were encouraged to provide any response to the proposed subdivision or attend today's public hearing. And in response to the referral, we received external comments from Lindale REA, Alberta Energy Regulator, TELUS, Fortis Alberta, and Canada Post, all of which advised that they had no easements, concerns, or objections to the rezoning and subdivision. Buck Mountain Gas Co-op advised that they have a gas line located on the property and no structures are to be constructed over top of those lines. All lines are to be located, however, they had no objections. Internal department responses came from Agricultural Services and Public Works. Agricultural Services advised of the soil conditions, but had no concerns regarding the rezoning and subdivision. Public Works identified that a new approach will be required for the proposed lot, and road widening will be required. These will be recommended conditions of the subdivision that will go to the Municipal Planning Commission, but don't have an impact on the proposed rezoning. Since preparing the report that's before council today, one letter was received from an adjacent landowner to the west. A copy of that letter has been handed out to each of you. The adjacent landowner has requested the requirement of a buffer and driveway placement, as well as a fence for containing any dogs on the proposed lot, so as not to impact his property value or privacy. There was no objection to the proposed rezoning or subdivision included in the letter received. Additionally, the comments will be shared with the Municipal Planning Commission for consideration when they make their decision. Policy considerations were set out in the report to Council on October 7th, 2025, and confirm that the proposed rezoning is consistent with the county's municipal development plan, as well as our land use bylaw. And we confirmed that the lands do not fall within any intermunicipal development plan with an adjacent municipality or within an area structure plan. Based on the foregoing, it is the recommendation of administration that second and third readings be given to bylaw 121725 for the rezoning of approximately 4 acres from agricultural to agricultural holdings within a portion of southeast 455 west of the 5th Meridian. Thank you.
Any questions from council? Go ahead, Carol.
Brazeau County Public Works comments, it says that a new 10-meter gravel approach with a culvert will have to be installed, plus the road will be needed to be widened as well. Is that at the cost of Brazeau County? Is that our cost, or is that cost put to the subdivider?
Through the chair to Councillor Boak. It is at the cost of the applicant.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody from the gallery here that want to speak for or against this particular application? Yeah, just go on up. Yeah, you always go to the microphone, you state your name. I haven't seen you in here before, but, so yeah, just speak your mind, tell us what you want to see done.
Yeah, so I am the adjacent landowner, nearest to this application. And I guess that was kind of what I sent the letter in, is in objection to it, because in addition to the, like, I'm the only one that's really going to be affected, because I'm about, it's going to be about 150 meters from my house. And I'm also concerned about the sewer that's going to have to run through. If there is a pump out, I don't know if that's going to be an issue. It's like any runoff comes through my property to get out of that subdivision, right? And the extra traffic on the road, it's just, I've got some concerns. Most of them are just personal privacy issues. You know, I've got, I farm right beside it. I've got cattle there. I've got the concern of dogs that will come onto my property chasing my animals, my pets. And I know these are issues that a lot of people deal with all the time, but that's why I've lived down a dead-end road, so I don't have those issues. And so the biggest thing for me would be, because I'm sure that this is something that is still going to go through, but I would like some of my concerns to be addressed and looked at as like the tree removal issue. Like, I don't want to see, I honestly don't want to see someone else's house when I look out my window. That's why I put my house there. And I know I don't have...
You're to the west and the south end of that property?
Pardon me?
You're to the west and to the south end of that property?
I'm to the west and to the north, just...
Yeah, north of the south boundary, so I didn't say it clear enough, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
The one that's got the whole opening, it looks like you got a shop there, a house.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you bet.
And so there's gonna be a strip of bush there, I see, that may need to be widened. I'm not sure if Public Works can downplay what they need to take to minimize that or not, you know? That's part of a compromise I'm trying to look for right away.
Right. Yeah, and like, that would satisfy me if there was, some restriction put on, like, I know there's just basic rules, I mean, as far as, sewer and things like that, but I know there isn't, or I don't think there's any, restrictions on, you know, clear cutting the whole property to, and all of a sudden now I'm, like, it's become part of my sightline then, right? Right away,
Yeah.
compared to what it is now.
Yeah, the sewer will be addressed through other agencies and stuff
Right.
too. They can't let their sewer run onto your property.
Right.
You can come up afterwards and talk. We want to hear you. You just can't yell from the gallery there. So you'll be welcome to come up and speak as well. Okay, so I think your main concern is the visibility issue, and you want to ensure that the sewer isn't going to run on your land.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard you. Are you
Yeah.
with this gentleman, or do you want to come up and add something to it there, ma'am?
Hi, I'm Sandy. I'm the one who's going to be living there eventually, hopefully.
Oh, you're the one doing the subdividing there, Sandy?
It's my uncle, yes.
Okay,
So the sewer issue with 4 acres has to be a holding tank only. So flowing water, flowing sewer, that won't be an issue. That's all I wanted to say.
okay.
Thank you.
And the trees, I'm just throwing it out to
Yeah.
try to get a compromise, to minimize how many trees we take down. Is
We're not planning on taking any trees.
there west?
We're not planning on taking any of the trees. There's a nice open spot on the top where we could put our home. The trees do not need to be removed at all, and I'm not planning on removing any of them.
What about along the roadway?
So along the front of where the road is, there are no trees there. There are some bushes. There are trees that line the gentleman's driveway, which is along the property line, but that's not a road widening. That's not part of the road widening. It would
Okay.
only be in the front.
All right,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Thanks for being amicable there. It's always nice to have a conversation so we can try to find a solution to both sides of the story. So at some point, council will have to make a decision, and you'll have to include the conditions such as minimize any brush removal along the roadway, and secondly, to ensure that an approved septic system is installed. A provincially approved septic system. I can make motions, but I try not to. Pardon me? Is there anybody online that wants to say something? No one online. Nobody online, thanks Tina. Glenn?
I move to come out of public hearing for bylaw 1217-25.
Okay, that's got the motions coming now. All those in favor? Okay. Now, is there any direction you've got? So yeah, now you're dealing with the conditions right now. So one of the conditions is that an improved provincial septic system should be installed, whatever that may be. We don't usually dictate what type to actually use. We just say an approved system. Go ahead.
To the chair and council, this is just for rezoning. The conditions come at the subdivision stage through municipal planning commission. So this is just rezoning bylaw, second and third reading.
All right, so that lets everybody off the hook. It's just rezoning right now. It's not even subdividing. So then Then if you agree, you make a motion to approve the rezoning as applied. Yeah, first reading we do, yeah, we need second and third. No, you can do just one if you want. The administration, I believe, asked for a second and third. Pardon me? Okay, Aria, you're cut off. Shane?
Sorry, Aria. I move to give second reading to bylaw 1217-25, proposing portion of Southeast 04-050-08, west of the 5th meridian, west of the 5th.
So we're not dealing with the subdivision right now, just so you know that it's just rezoning it.
Yeah.
But it is one step in a two-step process.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Southeast 450-5, west of the 5th meridian, plus or minus 1.62 hectares, be rezoned from agriculture to agricultural holdings as shown on the attached Schedule A. That was all good.
Any discussion? Discussion, Aria? No. Oh, your light's on. Okay, all those in favor? Carried unanimous. Go ahead.
I move that council give third readings to bylaw 121725, proposing portion southeast 455 west of the 5th meridian be rezoned from agriculture to agricultural holdings.
Discussion? All those in favor? Carried unanimous. So that's just the rezoning process, so you know. The next step will be the subdividing. And then I'll be asking the same questions that I asked this time. All right. Did somebody have something else to say there? Okay, do we have Brazeau seniors here? Okay, you're up next. Perfect timing.
Well, she's early. Ask her if she's ready. She's not scheduled till 10:45, but ask her if she's ready.
So thank you.
We're ahead of schedule, so.
I see that. I see that. Okay. I'm glad I came early. Would you mind if I came up to each of you and just handed out a quick pamphlet?
As long as it's mostly pictures.
There may be some. Would you like me to stand or can I sit? Sit? Okay, awesome. Awesome. You bet. That would be perfect. So, I'm Denise Chesterman. I'm here on behalf of the Brazeau Foundation. The pamphlets, little portfolio presentation that I'm giving you is just some of the things that we've done in 2025. And just to catch you up on what we've been up to these days. So, Brazeau Foundation, we serve the Brazeau County, the town of Drayton Valley, and the village of Breton. Who we are a part of you. We're working with you to provide housing for our community. We're a nonprofit or housing management body that proudly supports independent living. We're the appointed housing management body under ministerial order to provide and administer supportive housing programs for the Brazeau County, the town of Drayton Valley, and the village of Breton. We can own other housing buildings, including both social housing and market rate units. And so while housing management bodies were traditionally focused on administrating social housing for the province, changes in the Alberta Affordable Housing Strategy has expanded our role. So key points, we can do dual ownership models. We can increase financial responsibility while increasing on their own capital replacement funding. We can be diversified, and we can have mixed income developments. Our mandate is to operate and administer social housing accommodation, providing affordable and subsidized housing options for seniors, individuals, and families. We want to foster community independence and high quality of life for the residents in our community. So who we serve is functionally independent, low moderate income seniors, families, and individuals. We operate and manage various types of the housing, including supportive living, affordable housing, and seniors facilities. Our goal is to ensure that our clients can live comfortably and safely with optional support services. We employ 50-plus part-time and full-time and casual staff in our community. So who we are to you. We are your voice to the province. As a housing management body, we govern the power to approach the province with authority on affordable supportive living needs. We have a long-standing positive history in housing management, and we work with the province and the municipalities together. We're meant to be used as an access point of communication. We have connections within Affordable Housing Center, and we are your tool. So that way we can access provincial funding. Our history. So we started in 1973 with the Shangri-La Lodge. 1986, we had the self-contained seniors apartments added to our portfolio. In 1995, we had our ministerial order, and at the time we were called the Brazeau Seniors Foundation. We were renamed to just the Brazeau Foundation in 2016. In 2023, we celebrated 50-year anniversary. In 2025, we've seen an increase in our wait list, growing quite rapidly or quite steadily. And in 2026, our goal is community enhancement. So that way we can work and try to help all the people in our community with their various needs. So our stakeholders are the province of Alberta, the Brazeau Foundation, or the Brazeau County, the town of Drayton Valley, and the village of Breton. We want to garner mutual understanding and increasing Brazeau's Foundation's role in our community. We want to walk in hand to serve together with our community. So our services. We do independent living with services. So that would be the Shangri-La Lodge in our community. In that facility, we have 24/7 staffing. All meals and housekeeping are provided. I like to consider our lodge kind of like an all-inclusive, without all the alcohol. We supply activities, maintenance is on call, and we have disposable income guidelines. And I'll go through that later in a later slide. And the rent is set as per the lodge and the board of directors. Senior self-contained, so that would be independent living, and so they have their own apartments. They have a one-bedroom. They can cook and they can clean in those apartments. And the rent is geared to income. So that is based on 30% of their notice of assessment. So every year, all our clients have to supply their notice of assessment so we can see if they qualify for rent subsidy. Maintenance again is on call, and those senior self-contained for us would be Wishing Well, Leisurely, located in Drayton Valley, and we have Spruce View Court in Breton, Alberta. We also have community housing. So community housing, rent is geared to income again at 30% on the notice of assessment. Maintenance is on call, and most of the utilities are included. Those we have are 4 housing units, and they're located in Rocky Rapids. So those at one point had been constructed for the rural native, and then they were given to the Brazeau Foundation. We also operate the rental subsidy program, and that is a program that is through the province of Alberta. So we subsidize rent if they're paying over 30% on their notice of assessment line, $15,000. The maximum subsidy is $300 for an individual and $600 for dependents. So that puts back approximately $200,000 back in our community that is coming from the province of Alberta. They receive checks, and that's done on a monthly basis as long as they are within the program, and they qualify for the program, and that can range from $100 all the way, like I said, to $600, depending if they had children and family members with the children. We also do the Meals on Wheels program at the lodge, and so that is supported with volunteers. We prepare the meals, and then that gets delivered to people that are in need in our community. And we serve approximately 15 clients. The reason that we limit it at 15 is the capacity of what we can handle at our lodge for the kitchen and for the staffing. Here are some pictures of what our buildings look like. On the top, you'll see Shangri-La Lodge. We have 81 units. They are divided into 3 wings. Our east wing is our oldest wing at this time, and that was built in 1978, so that's 45 years plus. So that section does not have air conditioning. Our windows are starting to be aged where we can't find replacement parts, so that is part of on trying to get done from the provincial government. The west wing was constructed in 2010, and then we have the south wing that was redone in 2015. The Shangri-La Lodge is owned by the province, the building itself, so when there are capital requisitions needing to be done with that, we put that on the list, and the province looks at getting some of those things done. This year, we had our flooring redone in our dining room and coffee room by the province. We had some bubbles happening on our roof that the province is just in the process at the moment of getting that fixed. And we also had a fire door on our oldest section, the east wing, that was non-compliant, so they're in the process of getting that done. So there is benefits in having the province own the building and getting those things done for us. Wishing Well, 42 units, that is owned again by the province. And again, that would be one of the self-contained. Leisure Lee, self-contained, owned by the province. Rocky Rapids, community housing, we have 4 of those units, again, owned by the province. And Spruce View Court, 18 units, owned and by the province. So the Brazeau Foundation is divided into 2 categories, where the Lodge, the Brazeau County, the town of Drayton Valley, and the village of Breton help to assist on the operating costs. And the province does the building costs, but they also do operating costs on the Wishing Well, Leisure Lee, Rocky Rapids, Spruce View. And then they also help us with the rent subsidy program, which is looked at on an annual basis by the province as to whether that'll be renewed. In my opinion, it's going to be continued. It's easier to support and helping people with lowering rent rather than owning a whole bunch of buildings. So I think the rent subsidy program will continue for a while. Oh, I meant to say too on the previous slide. Oh, it's not on this slide. I apologize. It's on this slide. So our wait list at the moment, the Shangri-La Lodge approximately has 40 on our wait list. The community housing at Rocky Rapids, we have 2. And our self-contained is approximately 20. And our rental assistance program, we have 10 on the wait list. The reason we have a wait list regarding the rental assistance program is that we only have so much money that was given or provided by the province of Alberta. So when people come in to apply, we try to get them on for the 1-year basis. So if we have somebody that drops off, we look at it, see if we can add them back on for a 6-month period. But we try to look at it on an annual basis. All our applications get reviewed in September. So that's why we have that. As well, the Town of Drayton Valley Urban Housing Program, which is not affiliated with us, but I do like to keep track on what's happening with the Town of Drayton Valley, so that way we can see what housing needs are looking like. So right now for the Urbanata, they have 2 condos. They have the Urbanata Apartments, 2 condos at Center Court, and they also have 8 units at Cadence Court. In the last that I was provided by the Town of Drayton Valley regarding 1-bedrooms, they had 12 on the wait list. 2-bedroom, they had 18. 3-bedroom, they had 13. And so in total, they had 43 applicants on their wait list. So based on the data that they provided regarding whether they had children, whether they had spouses or anything, that affected 113 individuals, which included single mothers, children, disabled couples, and seniors. So as much as our wait list might seem small, there is a need in our community for other additional housing. And what the problem is sometimes with Rocky Rapids is it is outside our community. And so it is difficult for single moms to be driving back and forth to Drayton Valley or the county for work, so it does limit their access. So if we had more for affordable housing in our community, then that would help additional people that work here. At the moment, Shangri-La Lodge, 75% of our seniors fall below the income threshold of $34,770. The $34,770 threshold is given to us by the province of Alberta. So what happens if you're under $34,770, you qualify for what we call the LAP grant, and that we get on that, the lodge assistance grant, $21.50 per day, so if they're eligible under that. We also have a lower rent for them, and so that they can reside in our facility. 25% of the lodge residents are over the $34,770, so they do not receive the LAP grant, but they do get a lower rate based on what you would pay maybe in the community if you were living at Points West or at Seasons. The reason for that we have 25% of our lodge residents that are above the $34,770 is because when we were going through COVID, we were experiencing vacancies. So at that time, we did some renovations. We did some suite renewals on the east end, which was our oldest side, and those rooms are kind of constructed in a 2x2 section. So what we did with one of the rooms is we put in a small kitchen area. So we had a little sink and cabinets. We had one of our residents come to us and say, you know, the sad thing is when I try to make a cup of tea, I have to go to the bathroom sink to get some water. And if you've ever seen sinks in some of our areas, they're very small, and putting a tea kettle underneath the tap is not the easiest thing. So that frustrated me. So what we did is we put kind of like a Jack and Jill door. We put new showers in. We're taking some of the tubs out and we're putting showers. And then that gives us an opportunity to upgrade to those small little cabinets. So that happening, we started getting more calls for our units, and then we were getting more calls from couples. Before, we were all just single units, and so couples really, we only had one. We have two, actually, that were officially couple suites, and so those were always taken, so we weren't able to supply the demand for the couples, but now we can. And so what they do is one of the rooms they will have as their living room area, and the other room they will open it up and do for their bedroom. So that has given us, that filled us up immensely. So we also kept the fees reasonable, and so like I said, much lower than the other facilities in Drayton Valley. And so we have 20 rooms if the higher income, we're living in a higher rate facility. We would have 2 rooms available for low-income earners of the threshold of $34,770. So what's been happening in 2025? The province of Alberta did a seniors lodge program review. I did a synopsis in the package that I provided you. If you want to review it, and the full package I can supply to you if you would like, or it is available online. Brazeau Foundation hired Derek Weiss to do a needs assessment. He's a project and building consultant, and I supplied that needs assessment as well. Dallas was able to attend last year on that. JMMA, we asked them to come in and do an analysis and do a consideration on what we could do with our property. So we looked at an addition onto the lodge to see if that was feasible. But a lot of our residents are, the new people that are wanting to apply are looking for 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms versus studio, so that does limit what we can do on that property. So I think it came down to about 12 to 16 units if we were going to decide to go to that lot. And then we did some workshops with the Rural Wealth Creation. Some of you have attended some of those. And we're also at the present moment doing a survey, which is online. I also supplied you with the survey results where we are as of today, and the questions that we're asking is also in the presentation package I provided. So the 2025 Alberta Lodge Seniors Review. Minister Nixon is our Minister of Seniors, Community and Social Services. Been very busy. He has an augmented portfolio with social services involved as well. Their key findings was that the province needs to strengthen oversight to secure long-term sustainability on the Lodge program. They need to reform the Lodge funding model to manage operating deficits and capital investments, shifting the burden away from the municipalities. So the goal is so that way we can try to start saving for capital requisitions and building our buildings as the needs arise. We're not allowed at this time to do capital requisitions, so having capital funds is not an easy task. Now that's something we have to work on. The Lodge Review also said strengthen and improve Lodge operations, modernize aging infrastructure with the goal of enhancing the Lodge experience for residents. So the province of Alberta has started to come to all the different lodges and doing a review analysis as to where their standings are. And once they get that all completed, then we'll be able to be provided where we stand in our province. I believe that all our buildings are in very good shape. They've been well maintained, and so they have many more years ahead of them. The next steps is the Government of Alberta will implement the recommendations over a 2 to 3 year period, and the goal is to modernize the Lodge system to meet the needs of a growing senior population and ensure it remains a viable option. So again, they are coming to take a look and see how to improve the Lodge system based on needs. JMMA, I did provide their analysis package as well in the presentation that I provided. So some of his key points is that we are the sole provider of communal non-care services, seniors housing in our community. The difference between the Shangri-La Lodge and versus Points West and Seasons is that we do independent living, like I said, all-inclusive. We're well seniors. Well seniors for us means that they're able to go from their room to the dining room, back to their room, and at nighttime being able to go to the washroom and then go back to bed without home care assistance. Home care is in the building, just not 24/7. They do what we call schedule care. Points West and Seasons, they have home care availability or personal care aides on site at all times, and so they have a higher level, but they also do rent to well seniors as well in our community. Our occupancy is full. Our wait list is consistently high. Derek's analysis is that we're missing an opportunity to provide service and accommodations at different price points. So again, that 25% that is living in my lodge, that could be residing in a higher income facility. Lack of housing choices means that there is no incentive to pay more for those who could afford other options. So some of my seniors, no matter if you're living at the lodge, whether you are high income or not, you get the same provided service. We're all treated the same, and so there's no incentive for them to ever want to move out really and do more or do anything, because like I said, at the lodge pretty much provides everything. So causing seniors to seek other solutions outside the community because we can't offer them a higher level of housing. So then some of our seniors do move away from the town of Drayton Valley and move to Spruce Grove or to Leduc or to Edmonton or St. Albert and look for higher end facilities that might accommodate some of those needs. Again, our lodge medium income is when they're below the 34,770, the lodge income is 27,500. If they're above the medium, their lodge at their medium would be around $55,000. Our lodge rent, and I did supply you a sheet as well in my presentation, what we're presently charging for the rents at our building. If they're below the threshold, they're paying $1,450, and if they're above, they're paying $1,750. So that includes their food, all their foods, their activities, their 24-hour people, they're on staff, all the staffing and all of that. So the lodge average age is 82.5. I believe a new building would create a younger demographics into wanting to move out.
and so into a unit, and then that would help free up some of the housing as well for our younger generation. So by 2046, people age 65 and up, according to Derek's survey, and that it will represent 20% of Alberta's population, and in Drayton Valley, this will go from 3.9% to 14.8% in 20 years. So we are going to be seeing a huge increase in seniors in our community. So there's JMMA's consideration. So again, we looked at whether we could do an expansion to the existing lodge and using the location we had. That was scenario 1. Scenario 2, we looked at what it would look like if we did do a new build regarding on the El Dorado school concept. Here is what the seniors' income as from the province of Alberta provides us, and for October to December, our threshold, like I said, is $34,770. According to the province of Alberta and Alberta Seniors Benefit, these are the funds that they would be receiving on a monthly basis if you're a single person or couple. This helps us to make an evaluation on how much we're going to charge for rent. So approximately on a single person, age people from 65 to 74 make $21.67. If there were a couple, $32.94. Our key points on our survey. Again, I did provide the results. The highest group of respondents at this time is 55 to 74 years of age. These are our upcoming clients. That's what I wanted to know. What are they going to want to see in a 5-year term? So if you were moving in, what would you want to see? So I did provide you the survey, so if you want to fill that out, I would be very interested. Or it's also on the Brazeau website, because that's what we're building for. We're building for me, we're building for you, we're building for our community. 45% of the respondents were answering for themselves. 69% of them own their own home. That is money that is sitting there that they could come and they need to sell, and then it opens it up for our families. 62% will be probably looking to move into a new building in about 5 years. That is great timing if we start now. 67% of the respondents live in town, 22% live in the county, and 6% live in Breton. I am presenting to the village of Breton tomorrow night. I hope to get those results higher in that area. 83% wish to continue living in our community. 38% wish a combination lifestyle. So that combination lifestyle is they have the ability to cook in their room. They can do whatever they would like in their apartment, but they also have the option of just coming down to the lodge or to the kitchen or the dining room and eating what we're serving. So it gives them that flexibility. 35% would like to just continue with having the paid services in it, and 27% would just like to be just like at Wishing Well and Leisurely and just do their own thing. 57% would like 1-bedroom units. 38% would like 2 bedrooms, and only 5% want the studio units. 83% would pay extra for additional services from the survey. Services such as a spa, going and getting your hair done, which we do at the lodge, and they do pay a small fee for going there, but they would pay for having those kinds of services. According to the survey, 52% report $2,000 in less than $2,000 income. From my previous slide, it's a little bit, I think sometimes when you answer a survey, sometimes you don't want to say exactly where you are on the threshold, so you kind of lower it down a little bit. Because according to the province of Alberta, it should be higher than it should be over the $2,000 income. 30% say they're above $2,000, and 18% say they're above $3,000. That is my target. My target is the higher income and to help in our community as well. The new building proposal. This was presented to the town of Drayton Valley, and this is what we're looking for. We're looking to build something new and wonderful for our community so that people are proud and want to move into our new building. Location, location, location. That is key. I do not have anything confirmed from the town of Drayton Valley as of yet. Like I said, I have been talking with them regarding different locations. I believe that the present location, which is known as the DeBee land, right close to the lodge, would be ideal. What I am asking is that they give us a portion of the 15 acres or the entire 15 acres to the Brazeau Foundation so we can proceed with new developments over time. And so that I have given you a diagram there. And so that way it would have market, near market, and subsidized housing available. We sent a letter to them on August 20th, and I did a presentation to them September 24th. At this time, due to the municipal election, they wanted it to be discussed with the new council. The existing, we find that Cadence Court and the Center Court are already located near this property as well. It's close to our existing locations beside the lodge, Wishing Well, and so it would kind of create like a community seniors hub, and so it'd be central to a lot of access to amenities. The goal would be that we can use what we have in our community, and it would all be close to the seniors. The proposed project, which was presented, is a lifestyle living complex. Our goal is to bring economic growth and be self-sufficient, provide to a younger demographic, promote and support an enhanced quality of life, increased amenities, cultural and civic vitality, a community hub, and strengthen our town image as forward-thinking. Our key features for the proposed development would be a mix of studio, 1- and 2-bedroom suites, and some with balconies. That is something that a lot of the people that are answering the survey would really like. Dining room seating, dining room with an open seating plan. So they want to be able to come in and just decide where they're going to sit. At the lodge, we let them know where they're going to sit. They're assigned a spot. They want that freedom of choice. A library branch, or a small community integration, that would, a lot of our seniors would really like to have something like that, that's more working together with the town and with the county. A bistro cafe, a social hub for residents, families, and public to be able to come and enjoy their time together. Outdoor green space, we have wonderful spaces at the lodge. We have our east garden, which is well used in the summer, and we have parties there in the summer. And then we also have our patio area for our residents. They would like walking paths and fountain. They want family gathering rooms, private spaces for birthdays, dinners, and celebrations. We don't really have that. We do have our activity room, but our activity room does hold a lot of other events that are happening, so it's really hard for us to kind of do larger things for when seniors are having an anniversary party or birthday parties and things like that. Greenhouse and community gardens, they really would like to promote active and healthy living options. Some of the lifestyle enhancement, a spa wellness center, fitness studio, games recreation lounge, arts craft studio, technology hub, outdoor fire pits and social area, private dining room, a licensed bar, guest suites, indoor parking. No, none of my seniors enjoy the fact that 40 below, they have to go and sweep off their cars and get them started. We do courtesy sometimes for some of our elders, and we do start their cars. We do take the snow off, and we do that. But these are services that we're providing at the lodge because we love and adore them. And these are our clients, and we want to take care of them. But these are services that some of our residents in a higher end, or they would pay for that kind of stuff that we are not charging at the moment. And we're not trying to nickel and dime them. It's just, these are things that we do, but it is more than what should be done. Every time that we do these kinds of things, we are taking away from their other tasks that we do. We're not hiring extra personnel to be doing these kinds of things. Premium add-ons, like I said, the balconies is something that they would really like. A spa for joint mobility, you know, having a physiotherapist maybe coming in and helping them, having a space for that. An indoor walking track. My seniors every morning, they walk from East Wing all the way to West Wing, back to East Wing. They do that 2-3 times, and that's their walking track at the moment. It's great, it's wonderful, but it's just being a little bit more creative, so that way it just feels better. But they do enjoy getting together every morning at 9 a.m. and walking back and forth and saying good morning to all the other. A theater room. So right now, when they want to watch a movie, they're right in the open by our fireplace area. And so it is a little bit, it's not as private as it could be. Corsair services, assistance with booking, deliveries, and errands. If we could bring their groceries to them, and we could help them with bringing packages. One of the wonderful things of life is Amazon. We would, have a little Amazon drop-off for them so that they don't have to ask staff for their packages and things like that. They enjoy the group outings, to go shopping, having medical access, and wine and cheese lounge is some of the things that we've come up with. So how we would be looking at this new build is we'd be looking for corporate sponsorships, community investment, traditional financing, and revenue-generated spaces. So we would bring private companies to come in and being able to help our seniors. The goal here is to be to bring economic development to our area, seniors bring retirement income, the funds flow in the community, it's creating more jobs, and it growth through taxes, infrastructure, investment, and long-term stability. This was some of the plan that we had come up with regarding a concept for this, for if we did get the DB land. We had proposed that maybe some of the area could be a tiny house community for self-independence. We would have the 4-story lifestyle building. It would be close to the lodge. It would be a park. We could increase the lodge presently. And then as well, we could look at family housing, which would be 2- and 3-bedroom townhouses, and then, or perhaps some family housing duplexes, which is what the town presently has on that one location. Again, these were just ideas and concepts. Nothing is documented or in stone. It's just some thoughts. So again, the possible, future possible development, tiny home community, townhomes, community housing, community park area, and more green spaces there. Working together for the advancement of our community. I think it's time that we all get to know each other a little bit more and get to see how we can make this work and we can progress in 2026 and in the future. The time to expand is now. Our seniors are getting older, and we're increasing on our amounts of our seniors. There are government programs available. Right now, the province of Alberta has the Stronger Foundation. The Government of Canada has the National Housing Strategy. I hear the Government of Canada is supposed to come up with another federal program for housing. And the province is also starting one for the lodge rehabilitation or increased, getting that done. So summary of some of our big takeaways. This is some of what our other housing managements have done. And it kind of shows you some of their market rental rates and their near market rental rates and the subsidized market rent. So now these are just the rent. And a lot of our, the new housing management bodies are going into rent and then plus a service package. So that way, that falls under the subsidized area, but then we get reimbursed for the services such as the meals, activities, and the cost of the labor, those kinds of things. So it's a different format. Now, the seniors at the lodge, they're all used to the one fee for everything. A new build, we would be able to control that it's a 30% plus a housing surplus package. So it gives us a new way of looking at it. Some of the recent projects around Alberta, you might have heard of some of these. Evergreen Foundation, not that long ago, back in 2022, did the Pine Valley Lodge. That's what it looks like. It has dining room, library, gardens and paths, cafe, putting greens, pickleball courts, hair salon, social lounge area, pub, and exercise studio. This is where we're going in the future. Falaire just finished doing a 20-unit expansion, and it was an $11.25 million project. This was completed in the summer of 2025. All 20 units were filled prior to them opening. Spruce Grove is now on the process of working on a new building. It's going to be called the Horizon View Lodge. It's estimated to be open in 2026, and it is a $40 million build. This is 3 stories, approximately 35,000 square feet, 102 units, and again, it's all pretty much filled. They're at the process of just taking waitlist applications. Savita and Edmonton, this is their project. This was $20 million from the Alberta government regarding this, and it's a mixed housing kind of scenario as well, where they have families and they do take for the seniors. They have 80 that are affordable housing units, 20 community housing units, and 32 that are market rent. Wildwood, or Evergreen, is proposing this for Wildwood. It's a population in 2021 of 257 people. In 2016, it was 273. There is a decrease of 5.9% there. They're proposing 42 units. That is their design that they are promoting, and they say that they're supposed to be ready for shovel ready for next year, for 2026. They are looking for provincial funding, but they do have their federal funding in place, and it is quite a large facility as well. So questions we need to ask ourselves. What do we want for our community? Do we want our seniors to stay, or do we want them to leave? Where do we want to be in the next 5, 10, 15 years? Do we want to be progressive, supporting growth, enhancing the lives in our community, appreciating our seniors who have worked and lived here most of their lives? Economic development, we want new businesses, more jobs, new people, new opportunities. Attracting new seniors to our community brings dollars. It brings retirement income. Inviting younger generations to moving into our area and starting their families and businesses here. Or do we just stay the same as we have been? Like I said, we've been here for 50 years, and I've been working for the lodge for the last 15, 20 years. So we haven't seen much change. So is that what we want to stay? When is a good time? Pre-planning needs to start now, in my opinion. Either we start planning now or we're going to fall behind. People are in need, and they are going to move out to find whatever they find for accommodations. So my final question is, who do you want working on these projects? Do you want to be doing it because they're going to come calling, or do you want the Brazeau Foundation to be doing it? And we're connected with the province, and we have 50 years experience. We're ready to do the work. Are you? I need help. I need support. That's what we're going to be looking for in 2026. So we're going to fill in the applications. We're going to look for the grants. We're going to look for the sponsorships. We're going to do the community initiatives, and we're going to do meetings, and I'll keep promoting, and I'll keep looking at fundraising. And that's my presentation on what Brazeau Foundation has been up to for 2025.
Sign me up.
That's great. I also have this slide here. It kind of shows here what the province has been up to regarding the approved projects and what they've been spending their money on. So I can supply that if you ever would like to see the PowerPoint presentation, or if you want just a certain part of it, feel free to contact me and I can email you this information.
It's a good presentation. We appreciate you for that. There'll be tougher questions in the future. I'm just not sure what your background is for construction and things like that, and who you'd be using and those kinds of things. We may have a better fit for that. I don't know it just yet. So, Glenn.
It was a really good presentation. As I finished up campaigning, I did talk to a lot of seniors who were kind of, some of them were wondering if they're going to be able to afford to live at where they're at right now. And I did say there was an option of Brazeau Seniors Foundation, and I directed them to the survey I'm just wondering, what was the total number of people you had? How many respondents did you have for that survey? Because I did try to promote that as a way to try to get them interested and maybe have a say in it, and then maybe make that application.
Yeah, I still get people answering the survey. Right now, I'm just over 100 people. It's not a huge amount. At the last time I did a survey in 2023, I think it's about that, so it's putting it feet to the ground. A lot of people, though, don't really want to answer the survey quite as yet until we kind of know where the location would be. And so they're kind of waiting to kind of see what the thing is. But we do get a lot of applications, and they keep saying, sign me up for the new build, I'm ready for the new build. But
Yeah, like I said, the seniors I talked to, a number of them had no idea that there was this option for them, and they were worried. But yeah, like I said, that's only a dozen. But yeah, it's too bad that we can't get that more information out for them.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's
that was
the
a
key
lot of
thing, too.
information. My head is full.
I think that's the thing that I'd really like to, in 2026, is so that way people know that what we do and how to promote that better. We have a sign that we put up in front of Leisurely. It says retirement living. We put a new sign up that says retirement living where this El Dorado School was. And we also have on the town sign that goes round and round and round, it also says affordable retirement living as well. And that has really helped to augment people realizing that, there is options to look into. And so we've had a lot of people just walking off the street to come and see us and things like that.
Any other questions? Dallas? Any?
Yeah, thanks, Denise. I really appreciate your presentation. I had the pleasure of listening to Derek Weiss do his presentation for strategies for revenue generation and modeling. If I would have known that Derek would have been there that day and it would have turned out, I would have invited all of council to be there. He did a fabulous job of that. Will he return, and will he return for council? Could we all sit and be part of that?
I don't want to confirm one way or another right at the moment. Ravi has kind of taken over his portfolio, and I think Ravi was over at the presentation when you were there. I'm not sure where Derek is in his life at this point, so I can't answer that and say it would be specifically Derek. But in the future, I would really like to get an update regarding Derek's, regarding the numbers. The Canadian statistics were used for 2021, and so it would be nice if we could have Derek again when we get the newer statistics from Canada Statistics for 2026. So we should be getting a new survey coming out on that here soon.
Okay, that'd be terrific. Robbie is equally as talented and gifted, and it would be just a fantastic opportunity for us to sit and ask him questions.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Thank
Denise.
How are you?
Hi, Denise. I just want to say thank you for the presentation. I thought it was super thorough and informative, so I appreciate that. Yeah, I just wanted to make comment that I fully support bettering the lives of our seniors in our community, and I just think that this is really exciting. So I know that's a lot of work ahead of you, but yay, good for you.
Have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Kara?
Thank you. And yes, there has been an incredible amount of work that's already been done, and I know there's an incredibly amount to come. One thing I just want to note, just because I've been, I think, around long enough, I just want to remind, more of a comment, just remind the public that the DeBee land was donated for free to the town for betterment of the community. So if you need help lobbying on that, I was actually around when that land was donated, and I seen the original agreements, and it was donated for free for the betterment of the community. So I think if you're asking for it to build on that location, you should absolutely be able to use that location. So, and feel very, very strongly, because I was fairly new on council when that came, and that is one thing that has stuck. And I've been actually, I try to stay positive, but I've been really disappointed it's taken this long for something to happen there. But again, I will just really be strong that that land was donated for free for the betterment of this community. So what better project?
Thank you.
Well, no more questions. We do have some other things to carry on here with, but good presentation, and thanks for educating us.
Thank you so much, and we will see you again soon.
Take the rest of the day off. Sure.
I move to receive the update from Brazeau Seniors Foundation as information. Corrected, Brazeau Foundation.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, carried unanimous. All right, so now it's 11 o'clock. It's ratepayers' hour. It's a chance for folks to come forward with any ideas or initiatives. I always ask, be respectful of staff and the elected officials, and just state what your name is and what you're looking for. We'll also support any solutions. Okay, he's got his hand up first. You're too slow there, Mitch.
Good morning, Council. My name is Jay Levine, a resident of Division 6, and I'm very pleased to be before you today to kind of bring forward an initiative. As I was campaigning in this election, what came to me many, many times when I was knocking on doors was access to information and data from administration to ratepayers. This is something we spoke about, Mr. Reeve, on the campaign trail, as expanding the website, using the initiative to use the interactive map to provide more data to residents. The three things that came up that was very clear to me was tracking complaints or inquiries, finding out historical costs for things like roads, and finding out about future projects and initiatives. If we could go ahead and have the administration take a look at the ability to do this, that would be wonderful. I spoke to Mr. Swap, I believe it is, at the administration about the ability to do this, and he said it's there, but it would need to be an initiative by council to go ahead and direct the administration to look into the possibility of expanding the GIS system to expand data access for residents. So that's what I'm here today, is to start that initiative, to look at an inquiry phase, to find out what could be done, what the cost could be, the impacts of that, and the return to ratepayers. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, and you hit the nail on the head. There is a cost for us to answer all the questions from the ratepayers. It is their money, but we also want to make sure we're spending it appropriately. So thanks for that understanding.
Thank you.
Anybody else got any issues? Yeah, come on down.
My name is Mitch Lambert. I represent the city or the town of Cynthia and some of the residents over there. And I wrote a letter to the council here on February 1st about the derelict properties and stuff like that in Cynthia and all the junk and garbage and whatnot, which we've made a big progression. So it's like 50% done, but it's not all done yet. There's a couple of people that are not complying to the rules and regulations of the parts and pieces here. So this is the letter that I wrote earlier on. It's a short one. So my name is Mitch. I'm one of the representatives. Myself, along with most of the town residents, want to know what is council doing about the rules and regulations and bylaws of the hamlets, specifically bylaw 1098-22 to regulate the neighborhood nuisance, safety, and livability issues, including unsightly property, and enforcing the bylaws made under Municipal Government Act, specifically the derelict buildings and structures. We are currently have 8 residential properties and 1 commercial property that are unsightly and derelict and getting worse as the years go by. We, the community of Cynthia, want this cleaned up and the community standards enforced by a designated officer, chief administrative officer, which has been done, so thank you for that, and the council's doing a great job on that. Equipment, including machinery that has been abandoned and inoperative by reasons of its disassembly, age, mechanical condition, or otherwise. Derelict means rusted, wrecked, abandoned, broken, missing parts, garbage, pallets, scraps, containers, and rubbish. These issues have been resolved before the end, or need to be resolved before the end of 2025, which we're getting close to it now. That's why I'm here today. And these individual properties have to be spoken to and have accountability to clean up their act as distinctively reducing our property values and making the hamlet look like a garbage dump. Anyways, I could go on and on, but That letter I wrote, or I read already on February the 1st, which, like I said, 50% of the community has responded to the people going there, knocking on their doors, asking them to clean up, so it's looking a lot better. And here I got a development permit application from one of the places on the yards, which is directly right beside me. And it's a permit application, development noted above. The applicant, the land location map is on here, and they're asking to rezone a light industrial lot, has requested a development permit for an as-cited outdoor oil field storage facility with setback valances, which is completely discretionary. So I'm totally against this development permit approval, and so is the rest of the town. And that is one of the properties that has done nothing to comply with our asking. And that's the one right beside my shop or whatever. The grass is this tall, it's a fire hazard, and nothing's been done. Those weeds haven't been looked after. So that's just one of the properties. And then, of course, there's the big greenhouse that we keep on, getting Arnold to smarten up, but even him has started, and I've been helping him with my Bobcat, clearing some of the junk out of there, taking some stuff to the dump, and some of the people, because he's getting old too. So we're all working together on this, but 50% of the people that own land in Cynthia, there's only a percentage of them that actually live there, and that is what the problem is. People are buying property in Cynthia, and then they're bringing grandpa's garbage and junk and old cars over there, and then they leave them there, and then they move back to Calgary or where they work, or Edmonton or wherever, and we're stuck with all their mess and their garbage, and their grass is not cut, and that's what we have to stop. That's what I'm asking council, and Glenn, like yourself, you've knocked on doors and asked people to clean stuff up. Thank you. So it is getting done, but we need to keep on going. The goal was to do it before the end of 2025, and there's some people who just don't care, or putting in a new development permit application for discretionary use. So the way I see this is they're asking for permission to leave all that junk and garbage there, and this stuff is the 1940s oil field equipment that will never run or will never get used in the oil field ever again. It's scrap metal is what it is, and it's the first thing you see when you enter the town of Cynthia. Like, oh my God, what's all this junk doing here? It'd be like, you guys coming in and all this stuff is at the Boston Pizza parking lot. Like, what's going on, right? That wouldn't fly, right? And that's how the residents here feel in Cynthia. So I have a petition signed here by 75% of the townspeople that want me to reinforce these rules and regulations, and for the Brazeau County to comply with their own rules and regulations to stop these people from bringing in stuff and garbage onto their bought land. They're not residents there, they don't live there, but they own the property, so they just keep on filling their yards and their land with all this stuff. So that's about all I got to say for today.
Well, I appreciate your pride in your community there, Mitch. I know you've been working hard on this, and it's not a town, it's not a village, it's a hamlet, just so you know in the future.
Yeah, I know that.
Don't want people to say, what are you talking about, Mitch? It's not a town.
Yeah, hamlet of Cynthia.
The hamlet of Cynthia, and
Yeah.
you're the unceded chief.
Mayor. And
Mayor.
a bartender.
Yeah.
And the sheriff.
And the sheriff, okay.
So,
all right.
anyways, thank you for listening to me.
Thanks for being
You guys
cordial.
have done a good job, and thank you for, telling the people, clean up their mess, so it's coming right along. Some people don't care, and some people are not there. And some people might be too old to do that, or ran out of money to move this stuff, so I don't know if they need help by the town to get some trucks and haul all that garbage out of there. So that's just a suggestion, but thank you for listening.
Thanks, Mitch. Anybody else?
Yeah, my name's Les Huber, and two good subjects were brought up today. Jason, about tracking costs. Should be a line item. Should be able to tell me what each road cost, what's been spent on it. Legal fees. Should be a button you push legal fees, should be a total. And Mitch brought up about vacant lots. Why don't we bring a vacant lot tax, either to do something with it or move it? And I think Glenn brought that up last year sometime in one of the meetings, and I strongly believe that would make things better. If it's vacant, sitting there, doing nothing, tax it, you either got to sell it or move it. And tracking road jobs and stuff shouldn't be that hard to do. When you start a project, you give it a number, all costs go to that number. Just like an AFE on any business or anything else, should not be hard to track. So that's...
We can't force people to develop, but we can try to encourage them through some of the initiatives that we have to help them with their taxes or help them with different things that'll go, but you can't force somebody to build something.
I didn't say force them, I said just tax them. Put a tax on a vacant lot.
Well,
Up the tax on a vacant lot. I had lots in Breton years ago, and there was a 20 years ago, there was a $400 vacant lot tax. Every year, not just once. And I mean, that made me decide if I'm going to do something or sell them, so I sold them. Not that tough.
No, it's just there's lots of things that you're bringing up, like the assessment, the people that do our assessment do the evaluations. We just don't arbitrarily pick a number on something. We actually have to use the provincial assessors to actually assess what the values are, whether it's a farmland or whether it's a lot in Cynthia or any place else.
Bart, you don't want to go there because I have one vacant lot and I got a tax notice on it, $300 some from your assessor, and the rest of the quarter was $60. So I said, okay, I'll agree to paying that, but is everybody getting charged that? You want me to go point out lots that are sitting vacant, not getting charged? Just because you fence it doesn't mean, whether there's trees on it or not, it's sitting there vacant, charge them. And all of council can think about that because it only makes sense to do something like that. And it may hurt certain people, but tough.
Anybody else? We're running out of, oh, here we go. You started out with a smile, so I'm hoping it's something good.
Good morning, everyone, and to the new ones, too. I really don't know where to start at. My name is Peter Calvert. I live on Range Road 83, south of the Lodgepole Highway, 2.5 miles. I got a letter here that I wrote and sent it to the MD back in May the 29th of 2017 about doing work on a road. I moved here in 1986. It was rough then, and it's still rough. We've spent, I don't know how many thousands or millions of dollars on this road, and we're no better off now than we were back in 1986. This summer, I complained about it. You finally came out and filled some potholes, but you used the wrong kind of material. You used old used pavement, stuff that should be used in a parking lot or someone's driveway, not on a main highway. And it's all chipping off, and it's getting rougher and rougher. And as far as I'm concerned, if I had anything to do with the MD, I'd be ashamed of this road. It's a disgrace to the Brazeau County. When we done this, we lost trees, we neighbors lost trees, in the understanding that this road was to be blacktopped. And that hasn't happened. You spent, I don't know how many millions of dollars having the road rebuilt by a guy that couldn't build a road to an outhouse. And then you were supposed to be blacktopped, and then you put a bunch of concrete into it, you put a whole bunch of gravel into it, you spent a whole bunch of tar into it, That didn't work. And then you came out and put some, I don't know what it is, but I drove on Range Road 85 here a little while ago, and you've done the same thing to the blacktop. And that's where that stuff shines at, is resurfacing an old blacktop highway, but not on a gravel road. And I'm not going to leave here until we get an answer what we're going to do with this road. You can call the RCMP in, I really don't care. But I want an answer. I've seen things go all night, all day, all night, and all day before the guy got an answer, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Okay, well, I appreciate your determination. I'm not sure where Public Works is at, Rudy, on where we're at. I know we've got 495 as well in Kara's area that we're looking at trying to fix that stuff up. 83 is I understand, I've driven that a number of times, Pete, so I know where you're coming from. Rudy, have we got anything in the budgets or proposed in the budget?
Yeah, there's, thank you, Reeve. There's several roads that are in the budget. I wouldn't have the listing off the top of my head, but we're looking at a focus on repairs and maintenance of existing roads in our upcoming budget.
But patching it is not going to fix this thing.
He didn't say that. He said to fix it, rehabilitate it. I'm not sure what that's going to mean, but I know that you'll be watching for us, so.
Well, get one of them chippers in and come in and plane it all down and then pave it. But I don't care if you go with cold mix or hot mix. You can go with medium mix. But let's do something with the road. Because like I say, you guys, and you're sitting there laughing. And I'll tell you, it's a disgrace to this county.
So give us some time. This is the very first council meeting. I'm glad you came.
Yeah,
Pete.
that's why I came.
You came, so then you'll be in the books as one of the advisors to us at our very first council meeting. But give us a little bit of a breather so we can take a look to see what we've got in the budget and what we can get from administration to fix some of these items. But
well, like right now, okay, we're on the 4th of November. There should be probably some white stuff outside. So I ain't asking you to do it this fall because we know we can't, because freezing's up. But soon as spring comes, soon as the road bans go off, let's get after it and do something to it. Because if you don't, I'm going to come back here again.
I hope so.
And the worst thing is, I'm getting older. I'm not getting younger.
That's two of us.
Yeah, well, I'm a hell of a lot older than you are.
I'm just getting older. I'm not the oldest. But anyway, thanks for coming in, Pete.
Are you going to give me an answer?
Well, we did. That we're going to look at it in our budget to see what's actually there and what we've got.
That's not a good enough answer for me.
Well, we're going to do more than we did last year. How's that sound?
More.
More.
But how much more money are we going to put into this road before you finally settle down and blacktop it? How many millions of dollars have you put into this 5 kilometers since May the 29th? I can read it off.
Yeah.
I even give you a road thing. You guys are all got it here. And the understanding was when we rebuilt this road and took our trees down and everything, my trees, that's a long story. I could have took all of you to court on that. But me and another guy settled it down and figured it out. But we're no better off.
Okay. Well, all I can say is we haven't had a chance. We've got new councillors. I'm not sure where all their priorities are going to be, but I'll listen to Carol and then Dallas. And we can't make firm convictions here at the table right now until we've looked at the books and opened things up and see what we've got for resources plus what we've got in our budget. Carol.
Peter, I'm Carol Volk. I am your counselor, and I did travel that road on 83 when I was outdoor knocking. It is a mess, I agree. And I will be advocating to make sure that that road is repaired and, rebuilt to meet a proper paving standard because it's been kind of patchworked for many years, and it's a mess. I agree with you. So I will be advocating on your behalf. So I would like to continue discussions with you in the future, and just let you know where that's at. I, of course, don't know what the budget looks like or what roads are up for work in our new budget, but that will be my number one priority for our division.
Well, it's the same thing with the 85. You put this stuff, you recoded 85. What did that cost? When you knew there was a road that needed something done to it.
On Range Road 85 or in 1985?
85. Resurface that.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was done with the traditional asphalt. 85 was.
No, it's the stuff that's on that road right now. It's the same stuff that you laid down on our road.
It's, you got to define where you're at. 85 between 621 and 620 was done with traditional asphalt. Going to the north, past to Harold Smithinski's place, was done with a cheaper version of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about Range Road 85 between the two highways, Highway 620 and 621. You put a thin layer of that stuff on, same as you did with our road.
That's a different approach, and that's to extend your asphalt. It's like those that drove on the Buck Creek Road. They put on an inch of, I'm not sure if it was, what's the two names there? One is, well, there's the microsurfacing, and there's another one where you put the tar and the chips down.
Are you referring, Reeve, to Cape Seal?
Yes, there we go. Yeah, so it was a different product, but it wasn't intended as a 20-year product. It was intended as a 5-year project.
But you do nothing to ours, though. You just use, like I said, stuff that you should have went into someone's parkway or a driveway, not on the main road, because now it's all in chips and everything, and windshields being busted. It's, like I said, I got all day.
I'll go for another drive, so we'll take a look at that, Peter. But you're asking for some big answers when this council hasn't had time to do any evaluations whatsoever. So
Well,
you got to hold your breath then.
I don't know about that part.
I think so.
Okay, go ahead, Dallas.
Thanks, Pete. I'd like to commend you. You come in the council chambers, you take your hat off. Even though you're upset, you're a gentleman every time, and I appreciate and value your opinion. I'm simply agreeing with you with the conditions of the roads. I've been on 616 West and 495 north of town here, and those repair jobs are absolute trash. I couldn't agree with you more. And I'm a paver from way back. I'd be more than delighted to pave your road, and I'll show them how to do it.
Oh, it's the same thing. I've built road all my life. Me and another guy cut a cut line all the way from Cochrane to the Hinton, and we were out 10 feet. And we didn't have surveyors or anything else. We done it all by eyesight, and we were only out 10 feet from Cochrane all the way to Hinton in the mountains. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to building road. I'm also one of the guys that helped put the main blacktop into Kananaskis back in 1973 and 74 with Leduc Construction. Matter of fact, I was the first guy that went up on top of the mountain to start flattening it at midnight.
Is that because it wasn't so scary at midnight?
I got up there, the dozer hung over one side and the ripper hung over the other side. I've cut roads along the mountains where the sprocket is hanging over the edge, 30, 40 feet down. It was nothing.
Well, it's nice to have you here with the experience that you bring with yourself there.
Okay,
I'm going to go to this fellow here. Two things. I didn't see you have your hat on. There you go. Dallas did a good job of doing the hints, so thanks for that. See you, Pete.
I didn't realize that it was a hat-free place, sorry.
Pardon me?
I didn't realize it was a hat-free space,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's kind of like a courtroom in a way too, you know, you just show your respect.
Perfect. What I'm here today, I was just going to propose for your consideration the use of a county gravel pile or different types of piles, like a compost pile or a dirt pile. If anybody needs extra aggregate or stuff like that, it's always nice to just be able to go Now, I'm not talking about go there with your loader and load it up, just strictly personal use, like shovel and load it up. I lived in Rockyford at one point down south, and they had that option, and it was pretty nice and handy.
Oh, so you're saying that you'd actually want to get into the county road sites or where they store their materials, the gravel, the sand, the compost, and just self-load it into a truck
For free.
for free?
Well, you already pay for it on your taxes, right? Just for residents. So, yes, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, gravel, compost, clay, topsoil, wood chips, you know, stuff that we could all use for our betterment of our property.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I'm not sure if we do that. I thought we might have did it with sand. At one point, you could go down and they'd dump you a load of sand in your truck. But I'm not sure about the other products. I don't know if we've sold gravel in the past. We usually try to reserve all the gravel for county projects.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, it's something we could certainly look at. I'm not sure where council's thoughts are on this. Go ahead.
We've had requests like this before, and I did try to get clay for a resident. It was right by his property, but the county just, we don't do that. So, and on the gravel side of it, we have a pit that only has like 2 years worth of gravel left. So we're a little strapped for material as well. So it'd be hard pressed to, I don't think I would support it because there's other places you can go that sell it privately to get it. But I understand where it's coming from. It's coming from a good place. But yeah, we don't have the manpower, we don't have the resources to supply everybody with material like that.
All right. Kara?
Thank you. Through the chair to the resident, I think that one thing I did hear door knocking too, and a request that when we get into budgets that I will bring up, I did have a request for compost at one point. We did allow it at our transfer stations. We don't allow it anymore, and it was just a request, so I did knock on, and it actually came up more than once about being able to take your leaves or your branches and either having it mulch there or at least a compost pile and then be able to take the dirt, so. It is something I heard. Thank you.
I mean, we could look at, like, I don't know how much sand we got, you know. Pardon me?
Sand might be a little easier than the gravel.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. There may be some products that we might be able to do that, but we'll have to have staff take a look at what do we got, what do we need, and what's our life extension kind of thing there. So it's a good idea, and it does help the citizens for sure, because a lot of times they don't need a great big truckload.
Yeah, actually, one thing that they do in town, I know they have a sand pile. And you can take your 5-gallon bucket and shovel like a pail full of sand and take it home and spread it on your sidewalks. They've got a couple locations in town, something like that. If you're gonna drop your garbage off at a transfer station, have a little pile of sand and take your shovel and.
While you're there, it's kind of two birds with one stone, right?
I like it, so it's a great idea that we could take back and consider. Something that is, I think, not gonna take a lot of resources or something, but something easy.
You gotta come up here, Mitch.
I like it.
Sure, Phil Simard. Phil Simard.
There's a mountain of sand right in behind Cynthia, 6 of 11, 4810. And people have been going there with their pickup trucks, like you say, or for gardening purposes or sprinkling sand on their sidewalks. And nobody's been said no to, that's where I get my sand from. But, you know, not with a backhoe, like you say. But, you know, a little utility garden tractor or whatever, and they go there, put a couple 5-gallon pails of sand in their truck, and away they go. That's all they need. So that's been happening since the early 70s. So, and it's right in the Brazeau County. I don't know if it belongs to the oil field, but it's...
Yeah, we'll have to find out who's the ownership of it, who has the pit, who opened it, and who's responsible for liability, all the standard things that you have to do. We don't want to open up a sand pit that isn't ours and then have to do a big reclamation project to make it better. But we can look at, those are things that are new ideas, and it's great that we're thinking that way.
Yeah, because a lot of families go out together, they have a picnic, they get a half a pickup truck full of sand, everybody helps shovel, and away they go for their gardening, and it's really nice sand too, no weeds, and it's nice fine sand. And like I said, there's a mountain there, people have been digging out of there for 40 years, they haven't even put a dent in it. So there's that, just thought I'd mention that.
Thanks for that,
good
Mitch.
look into it. It's right beside the old Imperial Oil gas plant.
Give us the LSD for it when you leave.
6 of 28, 49, 11, west of the 5th.
6 at 28?
6 of 28, 49, 11, west of the 5th.
Left there now.
Oh, is
But
that right?
they got into it heavy this year.
Oh, so somebody's doing construction with it then or something, taking truckloads out probably.
Yeah, White Cap.
I haven't been back there in 2 or 3 years, but that's where we always got our sand from. Anyways.
Thanks, Mitch.
You guys
Thanks for
have
the
a great
info.
day. Thank you for doing everything for our town and our community. Take care.
Okay.
That's Huber again. Most of this council was on for the last 4 years. And some of these road projects were started probably like 8 years ago at minimum. And they've been garbage since they started. And they keep pouring more money at it. It's like peeing down a well. Just stop, contract the projects out. Do not do nothing yourselves because everything you guys touch is not good.
Well, remember I said about being respectful to staff there, Les? I'd appreciate you doing that, but you're saying that they don't know what they're doing, essentially.
I did not say that. I said they do not do a very good job of what they're doing. And if they contract it out, at least you got somebody to back up on. And ask for a 2-year guarantee on these projects. Don't say, well, it might cost us more money to get a 2-year guarantee. Maybe you'll just get a better job. So just for council to think about.
Okay, thank you. Aria?
Wanted to comment on, Phil, what you had to say. I was just thinking about it, and you mentioned wood chips or mulch. I know that you can reach out to local businesses that mulch, and they'll bring loads to your home for free. So, I mean, if that's what you're looking for, that's something, but I do really like your compost idea for gardening. I think that's great.
One thing Peter Calvert here, one thing I forgot to say anything was, thanks for getting our lodgepole painted on both sides.
Okay.
I don't know if I lit a fire under somebody, but it's well appreciated.
Pretty much everybody shakes in their boots when you come in here, Pete. So you do have an influence on getting things done, so thank you for that.
I don't pack a gun, so.
Huh?
I say I don't pack a gun.
Okay.
Okay, you guys have a good day.
Thanks for coming down. Is there anything I left off on the agenda?
I don't know, but I have a motion.
What's your motion?
Do you want to hear my motion?
I'd like to hear it first.
Okay. So, just to follow up, that was an interesting engagement, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So last week, we met with Todd and Christina. They gave us some good advice about what public input should look like and what the open mic should appear to be. As we saw our delegations come in at 10 o'clock, Brandy was here, she did an amazing job. There were others that followed up. They provided us with information. We had time for feedback. We had the agenda for a week, and we were able to have a meaningful engagement, answer questions, and have questions answered, and find solutions. So that is the best way to have public engagement. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to propose, and I gave you notice of motion on Wednesday the other day, was to just change our public input to make it better. So we get information. We don't have desk drops, just like we just had. That's what that was. And we don't have residents storming out of the council chambers. So I would move that Brazeau County Council direct that effective November 4th, that's today, 2025, the time for public input be changed from 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock a.m. to be held as delegations, and that the terms of reference be amended accordingly as required. We can make this better. Let's do it. It's time. If you're familiar with the Farmer report, Farmer told us to do that right off the bat, as soon as he was finished that. If you don't know who Dave Cuff is, you better look up Dave Cuff and figure out who he is. He gave us the exact same advice.
George.
George
yeah.
Cuff. My apologies. That's his brother. Every lawyer that we have ever encountered and we've engaged on this topic has given us the exact same answer. So we have my motion. I think it's worth the discussion.
So just so I understand, people that have to be prepared with their issue, whatever it is, put it in writing and send it into the county. Alice?
Sometimes, yes. All that you need to do is let us know that you're coming, let us know what your concern is, provide us with some information so that we can reciprocate, so that we can engage and we can have a meaningful discussion. And sometimes we can find action. So the council always has the ability to make a motion to allow somebody from the public to speak. That is always at our disposal. That never changes. If you come in and it's the day before, just meet briefly with our administration, let us know what you have, provide us with some information so that we can have a meaningful discussion. Desk drops are nobody's friend, nobody's.
Glenn?
I did encourage one delegation to come in. I gave them contact information for both the town and the county, and that was some time ago. It just went nowhere. So with the town, they called the CEO, had no response. So then they went to an online forum, and I don't think that they've made much headway. I gave them the CEO's number or email for this place. I'd seen that the request go out. There was no reply. They again just wanted to confirm. I think it was yesterday, and did get a reply saying that no, there's no delegation, and we have to sit down and talk before we can do this. So, I mean, that's for a more organized affair. We're not talking the residents or citizens that come in. So it seems, I think you're coming from a good place. I understand that, but for our citizens, we're not living in a big city. We're not Lethbridge or Calgary or Edmonton. We can sit down, and we've only been here for they weren't even here for 35 minutes. And the Reeve, he's bulletproof, handled it perfectly. I was really impressed with the way that he just took that and toned it down. He did a great job. I have faith that he can continue to do that. Like I said, there's a lot of us here that ran on public input as well to continue that. So I think it sets the tone for this council. If you're here now, but you ran on public input, if you're going to give it up the first day, I seen this coming as soon as, the ratepayers were not happy, and I thought, well, I can see this coming up because I understand both from a staff point and from the council point, nobody wants to be caught off guard, unable to respond, and we're not. I mean, we hear these things and we're not prepared for them at all. So I get it. It's coming from a good place, but it'd be pretty miserable to lose public input. I think that for our citizens that just aren't computer savvy, aren't able to maneuver this system to get in, like I said, even Mitch Lambert, he didn't call. He didn't call me first about this, right? Like I said, they're bypassing their counselors to get information. Pete Calvert didn't contact his representative, right? Carol. So, like I said, sometimes the older folks, this is the only way that they can make a connection with the county. But I would hate to see it lost.
Aria?
I am in agreement with what Glenn had to say, and just from a logistics side, I just wonder how that would work with people coming in for our admin, I guess, for our staff, because our agendas are made a week prior, then people would have to have a deadline, and then say something comes up before council meeting that doesn't meet the deadline, then it kind of, I just feel like there would be some logistics that would have to be hashed out to make it work efficiently. And I guess just to reiterate, I guess, a bit what Glenn said in our mission, our residents' first philosophy is forefront, and I feel like that kind of not necessarily goes against it, but mitigates that a bit, in my opinion. I think it's coming from a good place as well, And I'm not against trying to figure out how to make it more efficient or how to make it more, I don't know,
There
progressive.
may be a blend, Aria, of what you're trying to get at, like, you saw Mr. Huber, he says, I didn't say that, right? And so, we can go in the minutes and take a look at that if we want, but, maybe if it was in writing, then you'd know exactly what he said, so he'd get his point across clearer, and, you know, he'd have a better way of handling what his issue is. Carol?
Just going to go in agreement with Glenn and Aria as well. The administrative portion of that is going to be very redundant for some people. I know that I campaigned on transparency and an open communication, and if we have people that have to complete a form to get as a delegate, to become a delegate to present, that instills fear in a lot of my residents. They just want to come and kind of say their view or their concern, and they're not really making those plans. So administratively, that will be very redundant, and I'm not sure that people would adhere to that. And so you're going to be taking those people, that group of people, out of the equation and out of that input. And so you're really not getting all of the views. Yes, it's going to be some desk drops, but I agree with Glenn when he says that our Reeve was very good at handling that, de-escalating that situation, which is what we all have to learn to do anyway as councillors when we're out talking with our ratepayers and residents, is how to de-escalate a situation and come to a forward and mitigating way to get through that. So that's all I wanted to say.
So most of the people do put things down in writing, that's why we have delegations. They put down in writing what they want to do, you get a copy of their presentation, and they do that. It's just, there is another portion that you're talking about, Carol, and I agree that they're just not that comfortable doing it in that style. They just want to come and talk, right? Aria?
I just wanted to add that if we did make those changes too, we could potentially miss out on things such as like what Phil brought forward, which was just a great idea. And he just had the floor, it was open to him. It wasn't a negative thing, and I feel like potentially if we made these changes, it could eliminate the positive aspects of public input.
I know it'll create a stir in the community, because I've been promoting this ever since I got elected in '92. All right, we were the only municipality at the time that actually had a open mic type of atmosphere. A lot of other municipalities have actually adopted this, but if we yank it out, we will be in for a bit of a battle, at least for a little while. But maybe we can slowly shifting people, and I can ask the people when they come in, have you got something in writing for us? You know, kind of make it a mix, you know. And if next time you come in, if you've got some stuff in writing, bring the stuff in writing and we'll talk about it. Shane?
I understand where Dallas is coming from, and I can see how we need to have constructive criticism with this. I think as politicians, we do put ourselves out to being, I don't want to say abused because that's not the right term, but sometimes people are frustrated and they need to get that out. And that's what we're here for, to an extent, as long as it's respectful. I think there could be a blended approach to this, making it maybe easier for people to bring things forward, because, you know, I don't want somebody to leave without getting answers. It doesn't help anybody, because then they're going to stew on it, and I don't like that, and I'm sure they don't like it either. And maybe that's what we can encourage people to do. You know, you have a problem with a road, bring some stuff to us beforehand so that we at least know what you want, so we can come up with some answers. I know that's not always going to happen, right? Some people just think of it the morning of when they're driving into town, but maybe making that process a little bit easier for them to get that information to stop these mic drops. Not that that's ever going to stop, but.
Go ahead, Dallas.
Thanks, Reeve. Yeah, I appreciate what you've done, and I've used public input many times before I was sitting at this table. But what we need to do, in my opinion, is to create a culture of good communication. And what happens when somebody comes in from your division and they circumvent the councillor and they just do a desk drop? That's not a culture of good communication. It's just not. We can improve that. talk to your counselor first before you come in. Did you? Did you do that? Before you come in and you're going to blow a top. I don't mind doing difficult things. I know that the last time I brought this up 4 years ago, and then 3 years ago, and 2 years ago, and 1 year ago, I know I got a lot of heat on it on social media and whatever else. I don't mind doing difficult things. It doesn't bother me one bit. So that's why I'm bringing it back again. And if you don't want to make this change, it's okay. It doesn't bother me. We can continue to do that. But what we should do is strive to make it better. Just change the culture.
So there may be a way of contacting all the people that come in, Rudy, and say, you know, from here on in, we'd really appreciate if you've got something in writing, please send it in and then talk about it when you come here. That might shorten up the process for them as well, getting an answer sooner. And secondly, it would give the people some opportunity to have a focused approach. We've got a head jiggle over here going the wrong way. You'll have to come back up if you...
This isn't public input.
What's that?
What are you doing?
No, we didn't come out of it. We didn't come out of it.
We're in the middle of a motion?
Just be brief then for me, thanks. I'm
What
getting
if
in
you're
trouble.
illiterate? How do you write something? It's not funny.
Yeah, it's a difficult challenge. Communication always is, but I'm not opposed to trying new ideas, and maybe the blend is have partial writing so that we've got an idea of what you're really asking for, and it doesn't get lost in the communication side. Glenn, and don't upset my dinner.
So yeah, we just finished the campaign season, and I was out to residents, happy and up to their door, hey, I'm just campaigning, and I got the honest response was, well, I don't even know who my counselor is. They didn't know who I was. Never seen me before. I was like, well, no, I talked to your husband last 2.5 years ago. So they didn't know who I was. And then other people, one guy was in tears. He'd been dealing with Jake Breaks going past his place for some time, and he called the county, right? And he had a CPO come out there, and he didn't know where to go. He didn't know that he could reach out to a counselor. He didn't know that there was public input. And I said, no, there's some options. I'll look into it, see what I can do. It turned out nothing, but yeah, like I said, it's disappointing that the residents don't know. And like I said, if you are illiterate, it's really going to be a barricade to getting some sort of input with the county. But I do appreciate that comment.
All right, thanks. Okay. All done? Dallas, you got...
We're going to go down this road, so we're going down this road. Yeah, so if there's anybody that's illiterate that's I'm more than willing to help that person, no problem. I will help you write it or craft a presentation, no problem. Happy to do that. That's why I'm here.
Okay, so right now there's no direction change because that has to be done by a motion. We're still in the enclosed there, or in public input right now. And if there's nobody else that's got any issues right now, I'll come out of public input, and then we'll deal with any motions that may or may not have to be made now that we're in the public domain again.
I'm sorry, for clarification, Councilor Ekstrom made a motion?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, we did make a motion, and the motion was to change. Can you repeat your motion again?
Moved by Dallas Ekstrom that effective today, council changes the time for public input to 10 a.m. for delegations only, and that the terms of reference be changed accordingly. Did I capture that?
Anybody got anything else to say? Those in favor? Those opposed? You're to have some enclosed issues here. There's an enforcement concern, another concern, and then the issue I raised in regards to personnel. So we need a motion to go in close for those three?
I move to go into closed session for enforcement concern file 24C-011 in Cynthia, ATI S 2023, and enforcement concern file 25C-005 in Cynthia, ATI S 2023.
Personnel
And
file,
Personnel file, and
item 20.
ATI number 20. Is that right?
Okay,
Yeah.
discussion? Are you here for the enclosed?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor? Carried unanimous. We're going in closed.
There's three, we need one more. One more? There we go. Come grab a seat. We're coming out of closed. All right, I'll move that Brazeau County Council come out of in-closed session.
Discussion? What?
Are you ready, bud?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm waiting for you guys.
Let's roll. Who got the first motion? Shane.
I need a microphone.
Hello. I would like to direct administration to proceed with legal action enforcement regarding concern file 24C-011.
Now that you said that, you can move it now.
Oh, I'd like to move administration. I move
To direct administration.
to direct administration to proceed with legal action enforcement regarding concern file 24C-011.
Discussion? All those in favor? What would you like to do, Kara? Yeah, I move.
I move to direct administration to proceed with legal process required to assume control of the property in question with respect to file 25C-005.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried unanimous. Aria, you want to make the next one? Okay.
I move to direct administration to bring back the council committee appointment policy to council for review.
Discussion? All those in favor? Now, you see how bad I was? I got all the new people in trouble.
Take no responsibility.
We all voted in favor of it, so we're all responsible. Okay. Anybody want to move to adjourn?
Not quite, but just about. I have a motion left.
What's that?
I move that effective November 4th, 2025, the Municipal Planning Committee be composed entirely of members of Brazeau County Council, and that the terms of reference be amended accordingly as required. Discussion? So, point being, Municipal Planning Commission, Municipal Development Plan, Land Use Bylaw, Area Structure Plan, Rezone Application, Development, Permitting, all goes through the MDP, all goes through the MPC, Municipal Planning Commission. Those documents are so critical to how this municipality operates. Okay, those decision makers are sitting here at this table.
What's quorum?
What is quorum
Yeah,
for MPC?
yeah, I'm just wondering if people can't make it all. Like, let's say Kara and I can't make it. You still got quorum to have your NPC?
Yes.
Okay.
So my point being is that this information, this decision-making is so key that it should involve all of council all of the time. No more members at large, no more committee appointments, no more committee members being appointed. It should fall to us. By the time new members figure out the municipal development, land use bylaw, area structure plan, rezone development, by the time you figure this out, it'll be at the end of your term. So the best thing to do is to be on that board, get on top of it, and we do a rock solid job of being an NPC from this day forward.
So let me think about, but you're not seeing Ag Service Board or others?
Just the MPC.
Just MPC.
And the other one that I talked about yesterday was the investment attraction.
What did we do on that one?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
It's coming next meeting.
Carol?
One of the things on the MPC is that you can't be on the SDAB if you are on the MPC, so how are you going to structure that committee?
I don't know, but we'll find a way. Subdivision Appeal Board, right now, the way it's structured is the Land and Property Tribunal generally handles most of those appeals. Land and Property Use Tribunal, did I miss something? Land and Property Rights Tribunal is handling most of those things. I think, I don't know, but I think there's a way that we could step back from that and allow them to handle appeals. Now, I don't know that.
What about members at large? Could they be dealt that responsibility? on
That's
the
possible.
Subdivision, I wasn't talking to you,
Sorry.
Rudy. Like, I don't mind this debate and discussion right now. Go ahead, Rudy.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I know that other jurisdictions do a regional subdivision appeal board so that you would have an external objective group of people that would be examining any appeals that would go to the board. That's done in other jurisdictions, so there is that degree of separation. And in those situations, I can't speak to whether they would be made up of other councillors, but I believe they're residents at large that have received the appropriate training to sit on the appeals board.
Okay. The reason I'm asking for that is we may need some time to think about this, Dallas. And so, no?
I don't need no time.
Oh, I know, okay.
I've been working on this for 4 years. I don't need time.
Kara?
I can be overruled, and I'm fine, but I'll call point of order. This was not on the agenda, so we shouldn't even be discussing it, even though a motion was made. Even before the motion was made, the item should have been added to the agenda. But I don't want to hold up, because apparently we're having the discussion anyways. I believe very firmly that we need members at large engaged, and a part of our process is not only at MPC, but other committees. I believe they are a second sober thought, and I value the experience and the abilities. It has not been an issue in the past, and I'm not at all in favor of changing that.
So ruling, please. Point of order. Ruling, please.
Ruling on what?
Point of order.
As far as her calling you out for not adding it to the agenda?
Yeah.
I believe she was right there. We didn't put it on the agenda.
Yeah, speak.
Go ahead.
It is directly related to the in-closed discussion. That makes it in order. That's my argument.
Okay. Aria?
I'm all. It's okay, take a breath. Okay, so Kara kind of answered it, but my question was, historically, has there been issues with members at large on the MPC specifically?
Answer that question.
To anyone's knowledge?
Carefully.
They'll very carefully answer that question.
Yeah.
He acknowledged me, I think. Okay, so I sat on the subdivision appeal board once before I was elected to council, so that was 5 years ago. I did a deep dive into the documents and that I've just listed to you, not twice, or to this council. And then I was on the Municipal Planning Commission for 4 years, the past 4 years. I chaired the Municipal Planning Commission, and I enjoyed that immensely. The members at large have, the issue is that the members at large are good and willing participants. There's no problem with that. They will come up to speed eventually, but it takes a long time before they get there. Now, for example, there was one person that was on the Municipal Planning Commission for 1 year. Okay, that was Ali Ladra. He did a great job. And now he's gone. Now there's 2 other people on the Municipal Planning Commission. But by the time he got good at it, by the time anybody gets good at it, by understanding all these documents, by the time you get really good at it, that's where you reach proficiency. So from day dot, from start to finish, there's a significant amount of inconsistency that happens, and that we can entirely eliminate that. Development, permitting, land use bylaw, all that stuff, our residents are counting on us to get this 100% right 100% of the time. And when that doesn't happen, we look very bad. It looks as though we don't know what we're doing, and the public loses faith in us. And that is a huge problem. And has that happened in the past? Yes.
Glenn?
Thank you, Reeve. Yeah, I think this is a fantastic idea because we'll be able to showcase what kind of council we have here. We elected some people yesterday. Now let's see if we can't just mess that up. But yeah, I think this is a great way to showcase going forward on day one what kind of council we're dealing with. So thank you for bringing this up. It's fantastic.
Not sure that was sarcasm.
So you're in favor of having all the council?
No, I'm in favor of getting to vote for this, but not of all council, no.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that the public deserves to see what sort of council they're dealing with, so this is fantastic.
Carol, you got something?
Oh, thank you. I do. I'm gonna just call out that I'm a little blindsided by this because it wasn't on the agenda. So it's a lot of, we just went through the organizational committee piece yesterday, made some decisions by duly elected and democratic process. And here we are now questioning our decision by trying to change a policy. So I would like some time to reflect on this and before voting on a motion. Thank you.
Rudy?
Thank you, Reeve. Just in terms of process, council should be aware that the MPC and Subdivision Appeal Board are brought into force by this council through bylaw. So alterations to those 2 committees would be through a change to that bylaw, not simply a resolution.
Okay, thanks for that. That's the technical stuff. Shane?
We want to talk about mic drops. At that, I think this, Councillor Ekstrom does bring up some good points to consider going forward. I agree with Carol, though. I think this requires more thought-out consideration. We did, a large group of people put their names forward to run on boards for various reasons. And through our democratic process, they were appointed to these boards. And I think there needs to be some respect put to that. I do think that we can look into the process of that. And one thing that I think kind of picks up in my mind is cost. If we are electing these people, or if we are appointing these people to boards and they're gone in a year, we're losing money and experience on that I wouldn't like. So I would like, it's something to consider. Just the thought process. You know, we're training people like Glenn, or Councillor Gunderson, you did the SDAB training last year. That was a big cost to the county, I'm assuming, and now you're not on the SDAB. Now that gave you good experience, but you know, we're doing training, but we're not getting the most out of our investment. So something not in either way, not in favor of either direction of that, but a thought to think of.
You always get the last word. Whoever puts the item on the agenda, they always get last say.
Thank you, Reed. Yes, so I've been asking for this for the last 4 years. The first time that I've brought it to council chambers in order for it to come through motion and for it to be given the discussion that it deserves and the vote that it deserves. Whatever way that vote falls, that's the beauty of democracy. I have no problem with the result, and nor am I afraid to bring it. But it's been 4 years in the making, and it just came here now. So, thank you for your time.
When's their next meeting?
December 2nd.
Huh?
December 2nd.
Or we can always have a special meeting at the RMA, which we've done before as well.
I would say specific.
Huh?
Or RMA or
At
at RMA.
RMA.
I would not suggest having a special meeting at RMA.
We did one already.
I know, but I'm very opposed to it. And a public meeting is
Well, yes, I guess I could just call the question. So the question is on your motion?
Yeah. Can I get one more?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your patience. Change does not come easy. We can sit here and do nothing. We can just use the bylaws and we can use the policies that we have and we can bring no change. Or we can try to make things better. And this is how it's done.
You want the question now?
Or you can ignore my motion entirely.
No, I just wouldn't mind stewing on it to thinking about all the ramifications. Kind of like what Carol said. That's what I was wondering about when the next meeting of the minds is at. So it'd be December 2nd, you said?
Yes,
Is it next council meeting?
if you have it to that agenda.
I would rather that, Dallas. I would have somebody table it till December 2nd, and there's no discussion. We just have it on the December 2nd. That'll give lots of time to maybe chat with some colleagues at RMA to spin it around here, and then go from forward to see if the change is worth the new direction. So do you guys know what a tabling motion is? I assume you do. There's no discussion. Somebody just says, I table this till December 2nd, if that's what you want to do. Nobody wants to do that? Shane?
Just waiting for, oh, there it goes. I'd like to table this until our December 2nd.
Any,
We're not voting on the lake.
what's that?
We're not voting on the lake.
On the lake?
On the lake.
You're just voting on the tabling motion and there's no discussion.
Well,
Yeah.
is it just I'd like to table this?
Yeah, you have to, I move, did you say, is that what you're saying?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I move to table this discussion about the Municipal Planning Commission membership until the December 2nd regular council meeting. Is that correct?
But that's good. I never picked that up, Glenn. Any, no, there is no discussion. All those in favor? Okay. Those opposed? Glenn and Kara. Okay, so it's December 2nd. What started out to be the shortest council meeting is now just average.
I move adjournment.
Thank you. Discussion, all those in favor? And the reason you have to vote is because somebody in the middle of a meeting could say, I move to adjourn, and just gets up and leaves. You actually